are you going to do this fine Christmas Eve?
Pervert! I'm not a pervert. I like seeing naked girls.
I'm your fucking sister!
Yeah, and you've got fucking big tits, and I'm gonna tell everybody I saw.
Santa said oral.
You hear that? Or what?
Santa said oral.
It was like a little man, like a ninja, only like a gremlin.
Don't be ridiculous, you were dreaming. Oh, there's your answer. It was the cat.
It was a fucking little ninja troll. Santa?
The man in the study is your grandfather. And your father!
Ho, ho, ho! Merry Christmas!
I want to know the connection between the elves and the Nazis.
Santa got murdered.
Tomorrow is Christmas Eve, for Christ's sake. You think anybody's gonna shop here with bloodstains on the floor?
I'm sorry my friend's blood all over your fucking store. You want me to stay here and clean it up, asshole?
Have you heard from the boys down at the scene yet? They're still down there counting bodies.
The elves were a genetic engineering experiment.
Ho, ho, ho.
What? This guy killed the kid next door!
Are we gonna be alright?
No, Willie. Gramps is a Nazi.
Introducing RoboSanta Plus for the upcoming holiday season.
Elf mates with a virgin on Christmas Eve to produce the master race.
Santa Claus?
Yeah, it's fucking
Santa Claus!
Yes, y'all, it's going down right now. Episode 233 of the Triple Shots of Moodz and Horror podcast is coming at you live and direct with the homies, JP, also known as Double Shot J, and the grumpy old man Dave, also known as Mr. Parker. And back in the house for the first time, we got the man, the myth, the actor, Mr. Mikey Fisher. And of course, I be the host, the MOOD to the Z, Moodz. Yeah. What's going on, guys?
Mikey Fish. What up, bro?
What's up, man? How you doing?
Good. How are you?
I'm good, man. Thanks for having me on.
Dude, I gotta say, man, that fucking trailer for the Christmas short that you did, it looks really damn cool, man. Like,
thanks, man.
Good job on that, man. Really, really good job.
Well, it's not just me. It was everybody. And we had a lot of people on that. We had like 50 people on crew. So it was like, it was a real thing. Mm-hmm. And it was, it looks like it. So it
does look like it. The production value looked pretty high on it. And I was like, oh shit, damn.
Yeah, cool, I mean, man. we raised a good amount, and then we had a backer that helped us out, and he like matched what we made, so we got a lot more than what was said. So it was super cool.
Cool. So how long actually is the short?
The short is about 15 minutes with the credits. Yeah.
And this came about through a trailer, right? Like a faux trailer.
Somewhat. So it actually came about. So the other director, Dakota Millett, he and I were acting in this movie called Butcher's Bluff together, and we went to this river house when we were acting, and we roomed together, he and I. And he did these like Christmas cards with his family every year, where it was like video Christmas cards that he would send out to his other family. And his family's like super Christian, so they didn't want to do a horror one, but he did. And he was telling me about it, and I was like, well, I have an idea for a Christmas one. We could just make a fake trailer out of it, and you could send it to your family. And that was what that was. Yeah.
Because even the fake trailer looked amazing.
Yeah, I appreciate it. Yeah, I mean, that he's been working on shorts for a long time. So he's been in the game for a while. And then I just watch a lot of movies, so I kind of know what to look for. And we just went from there.
Was the intention at first to do like a holiday theme one, like a Christmas one, or did that just come out of brainstorming?
Well, it came out because he did those Christmas cards every year. So we were like, we can make a holiday-based horror film. But like I said, his family didn't want to do it because they were Christians. His dad's like a pastor. So he didn't want to like have like a Christmas card to send out to people where he was like slashing people up and whatnot. So he asked me to help him instead. And so he could send it out to the family and whatnot. So it just came out just to do that. Right. It wasn't supposed to be anything else. It was supposed to be a fake movie trailer, but people loved it. So we decided to go along with it.
I completely get that too, man, because my father-in-law, well, he's an ex-pastor now, but he was a pastor, and he's always confused on like my lifestyle. He's always like, there's like he's like, you're the scariest person ever, and I'm like, nah, man. I'm like, nah, there's a lot more to it, man. And I've been teaching him over the years, you know, there's more to horror films than, you know, a lot of other type of genre films and stuff. Like, you know, talk about the commentaries and things like that. And he's starting to get it a little bit more. You know, I said it's not all like that. You know, there's a lot of just straight up exploitation out there that, you know, is pretty nasty. But you know, there's points to some of this stuff.
And his dad was like super supportive. I mean, him and his mom, they both catered the entire thing. So Crafty was all free, which is super. They paid for all of it. So that was like, that could be up to $10,000.
Oh, really?
Because you had 50 people, right? So
yeah, we had 50 people. Yeah, and so
what was for lunch?
She would just make. Well, they're Swedish, so we got some cool stuff. But it was mostly like just stuff that can go everywhere, like spaghetti stuff and whatnot, but made in the Swedish way. I guess.
Swedish meatballs and stuff.
Sweet.
Yeah, stuff like that. It was real cool. Right. Sweet. Was that a joke, JP?
Sweet.
No, but yeah, that goes a long way. Just that itself, that can take off about $10,000 from your budget right there. So
yeah, that's huge.
Well, they probably dipped into the church funds right there, right?
No, I did not want to say that at all.
He wants to clarify that was a big fucking no. That's just me speculating and being a dick. So that probably didn't happen. I'm a fucking asshole. I know that. I'm sorry.
That was
the
money for the homeless kids' Christmas presents.
Right. Yeah.
No, can I get a sandwich? No, but you could watch this trailer. That's where your sandwich went.
Here's a Swedish meatball too, motherfucker.
Yes, you could have a sandwich, but we must pray first, and you had to watch this trailer.
What the hell is Swedish cuisine, anyways? The only thing I literally know is
Swedish meatballs.
That's all I know.
Fish. A lot of fish.
Yeah, you would think so, right?
Whatever it was, Swedish it was good. It was good, and it was free, so it was sick.
Right. Well, there's nothing better than free food, right?
Exactly.
It can't taste shitty, you know, unless it's Taco Bell.
I have a couple things. Like, first of all, like
herring
even the poster
is a big one.
Oh, herring. Even the poster for
that.
I love herring, man. It's good shit.
Meatballs.
All that sounds great. Ragamunk.
It's sort of a potato pancake. Then we have Shmorga Gashta Tarta, which is a sandwich cake.
Okay, so I said it was Swedish food. I don't think it was. Now that I'm hearing all this, I think it was just a Swedish woman making our food. So I just thought it.
It probably had a little Swedish flavor in there.
Yellow pea soup, crisp bread,
and then at the end of it all, we jumped off of a cliff and everyone died.
Sounds fun. So I guess the show's over. He's dead.
Louise.
So Mikey, you actually co-directed this?
Yeah, with a guy named Dakota Millett.
Okay, that's cool.
I keep thinking you're saying Dakota Mullet, but you keep saying millet.
Yeah, like the what is it? A seed? A millet seed or something like that?
Right.
I think it's a seed.
Mullet would be pretty damn cool, though.
Dakota Mullet, yeah, that'd be great.
Yeah.
So I noticed that all you guys have the same last name. Are you supposed to be brothers in this film?
Yeah. So in the movie, or the short, all of us were siblings and we're back together after our parents passed away. And it just so happened to take place around Christmas time. So we decided we would give away all the stuff in the will at the house, like during Christmas. And when that's all going on, one of them goes to bed and we hear some like loud noises in the house and
up on the housetop.
Yeah, exactly. We think it's an intruder and it's Santa Claus and we shoot him and now his reindeer are out for revenge.
Oh, it's the
that's the best about it.
That's so awesome. That's so awesome.
So now is there hopes or anything about doing a feature with this or
our producer thinks that it's highly likely that we can get a good budget for this.
Wow.
I think that stuff like this is really hot right now.
Right.
And I think it would, I mean, even the film we're reviewing later tonight, Christmas Bloody Christmas, got a lot of hype, you know.
That and like Violent Night and and then like a bunch of like indie stuff's doing really well, like stuff like, you know, Terrifier 2 and whatnot. So
yeah, I mean, this has been a pretty decent year for Christmas. I mean, there's been some decent films. There's been some bad ones too, but there's been a lot of Christmas related horror films this year. Like The Leech came out, Christmas Bloody Christmas. Of course, Violent Night. If you want to consider Violent Night.
There's that one new one. The Apology too, right?
I watched.
That's Christmas.
I watched Toys of Terror last night. That movie was fucking awful.
I heard the Mean one is really bad.
And then so too. I watched The Apology last night, which was actually really good.
Yeah, it was.
Was it?
Yeah, it was kind of good, man. Toys of Terror, it kind of has this full moon vibe, and the production value on it's pretty high, and then the effects happen with the like the toys and the puppets and stuff, and it's the worst thing I've ever seen in my life. It was actually so funny that me and the wife looked at each other and went like, "That is this really happening?" Like it was just the most awful.
Oh, you watched it with the wife?
Yeah, because we were watching movies or whatever, and I was like, "Oh,
my wife."
I just clicked on Netflix. I was bored, and I have of course a million physical movies, but I'm clicking on Netflix. But I just wanted to see what was on there.
Yeah,
and this one like immediately came up, and I was like, "Oh, what the fuck is this?" And I was like, "Okay, well, it doesn't look too bad because they hadn't shown the effects of the toys yet." So yeah, when we got to that part, that was pure hilarity. But I do recommend The Apology, which is kind of cool. And I didn't know it was a Christmas film. I just happened to pop it in after I watched Toys of Terror because it was on brand new on Shudder, and then it turned out it was set at Christmas. I'm like, oh, fuck,
that's
crazy.
why I watched it.
Yeah, it was.
I was looking at the poster and I saw Christmas lights, and I was like, ah.
Yeah, I just saw the artwork on Shudder.
You said it was good though.
It is good. Yeah,
yeah. It's not really a straight up horror film, I would say. More thriller.
I would say the idea behind it is pretty damn horrific. It's the argument for it. It's
Which
pretty.
One, The Apology.
Yeah, it's pretty brutal to be honest, man. Like just
and then
the whole.
There's that Advent Calendar movie as well.
I actually like
that. Was last year, wasn't it?
Oh, wait,
was it last year? Okay.
Yeah.
I just heard about it. I just heard about it. So.
Oh, I haven't seen it.
Yeah.
So Moodz, this Long Walk movie. It's good, right?
I really enjoyed it. Just try to pay attention a little bit better than Mr. Dave to the Z.
Dude, Dave Z lost all credibility last week with Home Alone 2 being a Jump the Shark movie. So.
It made absolutely no sense. It's literally the same movie, bro.
He's literally he's answering.
He's getting some shit for that too.
Comments
so I love it.
On the fucking YouTube, on the video.
It's the same fucking movie.
But it's Daniel Stern.
I haven't watched the episode.
He didn't know who Daniel Stern was.
He was trying to defend
that. Like, bro?
He didn't know who Daniel Stern was. He's like, I've only ever seen Chud once, and I just recently saw Home Alone 2. And I was like, but Daniel Stern has been in like 180 things, though, man.
You've never seen Otis?
Right.
Yeah. No, but Daniel Stern's like a B-lister for his entire life. The dude's in like a million fucking movies, like big movies too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, he's classic.
And he's very recognizable too. He's like one of those guys you just don't forget who he is,
And he fucking narrates the Wonder Years. That should fucking be enough right there.
Right.
I didn't know that. That's funny.
But anyway,
he's old Kevin.
The whole Home Alone 2 conversation about like, Fonzie jumping the show. I was like, the fuck? Man, Home Alone 2 is really entertaining. It's fun, man.
I think I enjoy it more than the first one.
I don't, but I get you.
Same movie. Don't care. I'll put it.
It is the same movie.
I always watch them. I literally watch them back to back all the time. If I watch one, I watch part two. So it's always hand in hand, and it always ends up being 3 hours of pure fun.
Yeah, now, if he wants to say like Home Alone 3 kind of jumped the shark,
don't even bring up Home Alone 3 on the show. Not a real movie.
I have a friend who that's his favorite one.
That's crazy. Man, I like Home Alone 3, but
just objectively wrong.
I know.
Have you guys seen the new one?
Yes.
Yeah,
it's
not good.
We got to stop acknowledging that there's more than the first two. Like, let's not even talk about it.
At least with the new one, it's self-aware that they're remaking the first one, and they make all those, self-aware jokes and stuff. I did like the shout out to Nero's Pizza, though, how the pizza box is on the table, and there's, the little stupid things like Buzz is the cop, and McAllister fucking,
Didn't Buzz rape somebody in real life?
I'm not sure.
That's not true.
I hope not.
He was in Blue Ruin, wasn't he?
Yeah, he was great in that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I think Buzz got in trouble for domestic abuse. He didn't rape somebody. I'm just ruining this guy's
Dave over here spreading false information.
I'll look it up. I'll find out if Buzz is a piece of shit.
I can't even objectively say that the new Home, even though it's like a total remake of the first, but because I'll watch like really, really bad and totally admit this, like really bad, like fucking Hallmark fucking movies and shit like that. And I hate romantic movies, but I'll watch the Christmas ones because I'm just a total weirdo like that. So, I mean, watching Home Alone 6, I guess, is probably what it is considered. Not the worst thing in the world I've ever seen. To be honest.
Devin Rattray. Sorry, go ahead, Moodz.
I'm just saying. I've seen a lot worse Christmas.
Devin Rattray, Home Alone actor under investigation for alleged rape. August 24th, 2022.
Damn.
Don't know if it's true. It's alleged.
Let's hope that it's not true.
Never heard that. Crazy.
Yeah, that's not good.
Well, you all remember him in Dennis the Menace. He was in the restroom with a little boy the whole time.
Well, we didn't say who the rape victim was. It's gross, but it makes a difference.
Just kidding.
Mm-hmm.
That was a part of this. That was a part of the scene.
I don't think. I know. I'm just kidding. I'm just saying. I know it was a joke. I am aware of that.
Well,
it wasn't a child.
Make me feel better about myself.
Well, I'm trying to speed it along. We already talked about Home Alone 3.
Well, since, okay, so I'm going to blame JP for this because JP's JP's an idiot. He's a moron.
Why?
So so we have this conversation that Mikey Fish is coming on the show potentially, like back in fucking November. Like, what did we just say? November 20-
Mikey Fish is coming on the show. So
yes, and then
in 1964.
But he didn't take my comments here, so I said,
like, you told us when fucking they stopped putting like silver in coins.
Yeah, I'm like, bro, like I said, fuck Mike Fish in his trailer, and then I thought it was kind of just whatever, and then he comes back and said, oh yeah, he's going to be doing the show. I guess we got postponed a couple weeks and stuff, and things got all fucked up. Mike actually eventually, you ended up canceling on us, and then it came back around that you could actually do the show. Long story short, there was a little bit of confusion that Fishy was going to be on the show tonight, so hence there was no prepared 5 questions since it's his first time on the show, which I was completely forgetting that also. Right? I was like, have you not been on the show before? And he's like, no.
You know, when you go to like a friend's house uninvited by the parents and like your friend is just like, hey, my friend's going to eat dinner with us.
And then it's like awkward because you thought you were like they were like,
yeah, I thought it was okay.
Good.
Well,
that is this right now.
I think this would be this is totally not awkward, but because I know you and I've been friends with you for a long time and I've talked to you over the years and stuff like that. So it's not like, you're like a new guest and someone I'm not really fucking familiar with. So, I mean, we could just ring off shit, man, like to kind of get to know you briefly.
Yeah, I have a question.
I do know things about you that I think I do remember, specifics, but like we could just, anybody got any questions? Here, we'll just start with an easy one. What actually is your favorite horror film of all time?
The Evil Dead from 1981.
Right.
Good one.
Things I do remember. I think I've asked that before.
It's better than
Evil
Part
Dead
2. Yes, I love Evil Dead 2, but Evil Dead 1 is better.
We have this conversation.
All of us agree with that.
We have this conversation.
It's a horror film, like through and through.
Mm-hmm.
But
it is.
I got the worst because my favorite is Army of Darkness. So
wait,
but here's the thing. I think, now don't hold me to this. This can change, but I think Army of Darkness is my second favorite.
I like Army of Darkness.
Army, Evil Dead, then Evil Dead 2, then the remake.
I also love the remake, though.
I do too.
But I love Part 2. I love all of them.
They're all good movies, all 4 of them. But the first one,
I don't think the remake's a bad movie. I just don't care for it. It's not my thing.
Mm-hmm. I think maybe in a few years, like maybe a few watches, you might like it a little bit.
There's certain parts in that movie.
Times.
There's certain things I do like. I like the aesthetic of it. I like the blood. The gore is really good and stuff.
I just think it's fun.
I agree with Dave.
Like
One thing that me and Dave really agree on is like just the core narrative of the Necronomicon,
we're on the same page.
the Christianity. But it's honestly the characters.
It's not very it's just very generic.
It's got to be one of the most. I go into this movie and I watched it 4 or 5 times now, and every time I'm just like, I hate these people in this movie so bad. I just want them all to die.
I don't have any opinion.
Well, they do.
Negative or positive. They're very generic for me.
Yeah, I didn't care for any of the characters either.
Very generic. Very
The girlfriend
assholes.
was fine. The girlfriend was fine. She didn't really do anything wrong.
No, but they just
none of them did anything really wrong. I didn't hate them or like them. And the first one, let's be honest, they're not great either. In the first one, I
think the first one are bland too.
I think.
Hey, Scott is great.
I like the characters, but they're not exactly the most in depth. But that's fine. It works for that movie.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's essentially a half remake of Equinox anyways, and the characters in Equinox are exactly the same.
I love
exactly
Army
the
of
same,
Darkness.
even from the 50s, the 60s aesthetic or whatever.
Army of Darkness is really
so much
hilarious.
fun.
It's so much fun.
I love like the end. Yeah, it is
rewatchable.
really
Rewatchable.
Yeah.
I mean, just for fun.
It just feels like there's always something happening.
Evil Dead 2 is
so
by far my least favorite one besides the remake.
There's this guy I know. I don't know his name, but I see him all the time on TikTok and stuff. This dude hates Army of Darkness.
Yeah.
Absolutely loathes the movie, and I just don't get it.
Well, I think that with that film, it leans headfirst so much into the like slapstick,
Well, that's what he says. He's like, if I wanted slapstick, I just watched Three Stooges. It's like you can't.
I'll tell you this right
You can't
now.
have both. Like why?
Here's what it is about it, the defining Evil Dead fans and Sam Raimi fans. If you like Sam Raimi, you'll really like Army of Darkness and Evil Dead 2. If you like Evil Dead, you'll like Evil Dead and the remake. I'm a Sam Raimi boy, so my favorite Sam Raimi movie is Darkman. I love that movie. I love Quick of the Dead. I love Army of Darkness. I like his style, his like over-the-top, weird camera angles, his goofy humor. I'm a Raimi fan, so that's why Army of Darkness is the most like Raimi.
Crime Wave or something?
Crime Wave's pretty bonkers, yeah.
Yeah, I own it on VHS. I haven't seen it yet.
It's funny. I always thought I was a Sam Raimi fan until like the way you explained it away like that. But I love The Evil Dead because to me it's a straight horror film. So many people
I love Evil
find
Dead
all this
too.
like all this comedy in the first one. I'm like, man, the movie was not meant to be. It's not funny at all.
There's nothing funny.
Well, Raimi's in Evil Dead 1. He's in Evil Dead 1 a lot. But a lot of people that don't like Raimi kind of style films can still like enjoy Evil Dead.
Yeah, see,
you know,
with
but
me,
the people that really like the remake, there's no Raimi in that. That movie's the antithesis of Sam Raimi.
Oh, it completely
That's why
is.
I don't like it. It doesn't have that fun flair like a Jackson or Raimi or Don Coscarelli or even Herman Yao. It doesn't have that movement. It's just not that kind of movie. So I like that kind of stuff. I don't hate the remake. It's not my thing.
Yeah, there's definitely lots of Raimi in the first film for sure. I mean, look at the cameras and stuff. But I mean, you look at like Crime Wave, man, dude. That movie, I can't get into it, man. It's just not.
Either.
I've watched it a couple times.
It.
And I just cannot. I don't like. It's supposed to be fun. I'm never laughing in it, man. It's weird. It's like this awkward, odd comedy that I'm just like getting, but I'm just not laughing.
It's an uneven film for sure, and it plays more like his other group of filmmakers, like Josh Becker and those guys. It plays more like a Becker movie or something. Like it's a lot like Thou Shall Not Kill Except or Running Out of Time. It feels more like a movie not even directed by Raimi, but it is and it isn't, because all those guys are like him, like a Scott Spiegel. It seems like lesser directed, if that makes any sense. But I still like it. There's some big set pieces in there for sure.
I get that. Yeah, 100%.
But I have to check it out.
It's fun. I think you'll dig it to a certain extent. It's worth watching.
It's odd.
It's odd.
So my question is, and knowing you for a while, I know that you, at the time, I haven't talked to you in a while about any of this, but I know that you were very strictly DVD. No Blu-ray, no 4K, fuck 4K, fuck Blu-ray,
fuck Blu-ray,
fuck streaming.
Dude, hey, Mike, before I forget, send me a link to your fucking Jack Frost thing, because I want to show somebody that. That shit cracks me up.
Okay, yeah, I got you.
I was telling somebody about that the other day and I couldn't breathe.
Yeah, dude, when you did the video of your head bouncing on the DVD menu, and it's like, fuck Blu-ray.
Oh, yeah, that thing. I was like, what are we talking about? Oh,
I don't even know where that video is anymore, that one. I know the Jack Frost one. I know where that is. But
that shit was funny.
No, really what it was I grew up on VHS. We had like a giant closet full of VHS, but we never had the covers to them. They were always just like the black tapes in the closet.
Taped off TV and shit, or
right? Well, no, they weren't really taped. No, not really. My dad would just buy them, and we would just have them.
He would just throw away the boxes.
I don't know what would happen. Maybe it was like my brother and sister and I got rid of them somehow. I don't know. But
I think your dad was selling them on eBay. He's going to like flea markets and selling just the box cover art.
Genius. Yeah, I don't know what happened with all the covers, but
he was an innovator.
That was the reason why I probably never got into like VHS, is because I couldn't see the covers enough. And then whenever I started going to like video rental stores, like where I could get what I wanted and like really got into like horror films, was because of that. It was already DVD. So like, I think it was just a nostalgic thing for me. And a lot of the movies that I really liked didn't have Blu-ray, and still don't, even though I'm surprised like Skinned Deep got a Blu-ray. That was crazy. But like, I think that was where it kind of started. And it started as a joke and I kind of just went with it. I always wanted to collect VHS, but those are just too expensive and I don't have enough
especially
room for
now.
them. Yeah, I just don't have the room for them.
It used to be cheap when I started collecting.
Yeah,
like
it's out of control now, man. The fucking
hipsters ruined it. And then
all it takes is one rich kid to get involved and fuck everything up.
Yeah, so the hipsters, man, they elevated those prices, man. Let me ask you something, Mikey. Do you like, with a lot of these movies that are going from like VHS obscurity and skipping DVD completely, or like to Blu-ray and 4K and stuff like that? Like, do you feel at this point where you're like, well, maybe I need to jump on that train to grab these type of titles since I can't actually get a DVD of them?
Yeah, I mean, it has been a thought, but like there was a time where I had this guy that kind of hooked me up with like these cool boots of like old VHS tapes, and he would put them on Blu-ray or DVD, and he would make these really cool covers with them. So like I was still getting my fix with the DVD, but I don't really have that guy as a connection anymore. So it's been a thought, but not really. I just don't like the way they display. That's always been my problem with them. I don't like the way they look, and they're expensive. Blu-ray.
VHS? Oh,
Blu-ray. No, I love the way VHS looks. It's just too expensive. And Blu-ray is very expensive. And
I know you don't like Blu-ray, but you like Blu-ray?
Blu-ray.
From Code Red, would you used to say? Well, Code Red,
dude,
Blu-ray.
Honestly, I don't have a problem with Bluray. It's more of a.
It's because he couldn't
joke.
spell blue. I mean, that was the problem.
No, he always used to say that. It was so great because his accent. He'd be like Blu-ray.
Yeah,
that's funny. But no, I've thought about doing the Blu-ray thing, but like not enough to where like I like to go out shopping. I don't do anything online, so I'm not real big into like special things, like the more special features and stuff like that. I just like to go out and buy movies. And so like whenever it comes to like the Blu-ray stuff, like making it look better, like special editions and all this kind of stuff, I don't really care that much.
So can we expect, like, if you do this, this short and maybe like a full length and stuff, like this shit's only going to come out on DVD?
Absolutely not. No.
You better not put it on VHS only. No. That shit kills me.
No, but we did want to do a VHS run because
that's fine.
Because that cover we had is freaking sick.
Yeah, you can't do VHS only.
But that's really common, man, to do like a small little VHS run and then, release it on the other formats too, right? I mean,
yeah.
It only makes sense to do that.
The short, we don't know what we're going to do. We might release like a couple of them, but we don't want to print a bunch for the short, but we might. So we'll see. But yeah, I mean, there's nothing. I don't have anything against Blu-ray. I just don't buy them because like I don't even look in that section whenever I go shopping. Like it's just, if I understand, like if I wanted to watch like Hereditary, like that's such a pretty movie. I'm cool with seeing that like on Blu-ray. But like if I'm gonna watch, I don't know, Dark Walker, I don't care if it looks bad. Like
that's your first mistake. Watching Dark Walker in general. What is that?
Dark Walker rules, man. What are you talking about?
Nobody knows what that is. I love how he casually referenced a movie that none of us even heard of.
Hey, Dark Walker was part of what was that line that Full Moon did? It had like Bleed and Jigsaw.
Oh, I remember this cover art.
Delta Die or whatever. Dude, yeah, no one's seen Dark Walker.
Yeah, no one's seen this. I know what the movie is. I've never seen it though.
No, you have.
I have actually seen that. I actually own that.
Moodz, you have seen Dark Walker because it was one of my Patreon picks.
Oh fuck yeah! I thought that. I was thinking of something else. You're right. I did do that actually on one of the What We Watched for sure.
Yeah.
It's also known as Noche de Halloween.
Is it? Did you just look it up?
Is that what that is?
I had to look at the cover. I saw the cover and I was like, I remember that term.
And that's another thing, like, because like in the DVD era, I love the things that y'all hate. Like, I love the floating heads covers.
No, the floating heads,
dude. Because when I was
you're a proof that nostalgia is everything, and we are just all wrong.
Oh, please, floating heads is the worst.
Listen. No, because like when I was a kid, I would always like go and look at the covers, and I would just try and decide who I thought was going to die and what order they were going to die in. So it was like a little game with me. And I was just like, look at them all day. And that's why I fell in love with Dark Walker, because it has all their heads on that little
This all makes sense. This all makes sense
this
though,
dude
man.
directed Ouija's. The guy who directed that movie directed Ouija's and Ooga Booga.
This makes
and Unlucky Charms.
Danny Jarvin or something like that.
Danny Draven?
Yeah, that guy.
So going back to the fact that like you never got into VHS because
I did love VHS.
No, something that like because you never really got to see the cover arts and stuff because all your VHS slips were missing and things like that, and so you never really got into that whole artwork and you never really got to, I guess, fully appreciate the fine art that did come out of the 80s and even like the early 90s. Some of the stuff was pretty good, 70s and 80s and things like that. So it makes sense why you would gravitate to the floating heads because that was kind of like your poster art for your time, right? Me and Dave are like, we're older than JP, so it's like the 80s stuff was
like
so
proving that our
life.
nostalgia is wrong too. Like he's just proving that nostalgia overtakes everything by saying that. It's just a fucking head. It's just a head floating in a black space.
That's what I'm saying.
But here's the thing. Yeah. I gained appreciation for all those covers. Over time, obviously, you could see that with my Up on the Housetop. Like we obviously paid homage to Alone in the Dark with that one and things like that. So I do love all of the older 80s VHS covers, but I also enjoy things like Motorhome Massacre, that cover. Like,
Motorhome Massacre has awful artwork, though.
Exactly.
It's
why
like
I like
terrible.
It. I know,
I have that DVD.
But what kind of movies do I like? The shit I like.
I know what kind of movies.
It's that early 2000, that early 2000s, like
dude.
Really
that's his wheelhouse right there. Early fucking 2000s.
The early 2000 DV look.
Shit.
Me and Mr. Parker, we talk about this all the time.
Man.
The early 2000s DV look, man. The digital video shit is the grossest looking movies of all time.
Yeah, well, speak for yourself, Moodz. That shit freaking.
It's funny because I'm pretty sure me and Dave would pop in a shot on video film any fucking day of the week over one of the DV movie releases from 2001. Right?
Hey, I like them all, man.
And I feel like some of the shot on video stuff actually looks better than that DV shit too, man. It's crazy. It just looks so cheap. It looks so cheap to me.
I like shot on video.
Yeah. I mean, shot on video is obviously cheap, but at least the look of that looks very... I don't know. It looks like it just has a lot of heart. The DV shit just looks like, man, I got a fucking camera. Let's go shoot some shit, man. And then and it turns out like that too. And then the artwork looks like, what's on the inside of it too. It's like, oh my God.
Yeah, we just had my family Christmas yesterday, and my mom and dad bought me a DVD of Spine.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah,
that's right?
The Massacre video one. Yeah. Spine.
Yeah.
Spine's cool. I like it.
What's that noise?
I don't know. Sounds like
I'm sorry.
Someone else is on.
I'm dealing with Amazon. Or you're lucky I'm even here right now. I'm so annoyed.
So yeah, like I know that when we were doing the picks and stuff like that, Mikey gave me a lot of stuff from like the early to mid to end of the 2000s that was like direct to video stuff, and honestly a lot of it I actually ended up enjoying, like Drive Through. I think you gave me
Drive Through's a good one, man.
And Monster Man,
that was another good one.
I know Baby Blues was one of them.
Baby Blues, yeah, there was a handful of titles
that one's pretty good.
I actually really enjoyed that you gave me stuff that I probably wouldn't have seen it otherwise. So that was one thing I did like about doing the picks.
He gave me Monster Man. I think I reviewed that one too.
So I had a criteria with you guys. So like JP, I was trying to show you like movies that you would enjoy that were from a time period and a era that like had bad movies. I was trying to show you ones that I thought you would enjoy. With Moodz, I was trying to just find something he had never seen. Like that's all I was trying to do. And that makes sense. Yeah, it was tough. But I actually did it somehow with like you had never seen Monster Man and you had never seen Phantom Racer. So I did good.
Oh yeah, Phantom Racer. That was actually a pretty decent one too.
Yeah, the haunted NASCAR. I just picked the shittiest movies I could think of.
Yeah,
the absolute things that I thought were shit. That's what I gave to him.
I did go through this era, man, where I was like, I think it was because maybe like I could find all those early 2000 kind of DV quality type low budget indie films at like, I think it would have been Second Spin. And even like back in those days, like it was fucking cheap. Like when our dollar was higher and the shipping was good. So like I could get these movies for like $1.50, right? Like even all said and done and shit. Cause I'd buy like 30 at a time. So, and they just had stockpiles of that era of film. So that's why I'd seen a lot of those too, because I was just like, oh, $1.50. I'm like, fuck, whatever, and then I'll check it out. And then some of them stayed, some of them left the collection.
Most of my DVD collection of stuff that came out in that era is from Go Hastings and Second Spin.
Yeah. Dude, Hastings freaking rules.
They're gone now.
Second Spin
we had a bunch of them over here.
They were awesome though, man.
Yeah,
Hastings was awesome.
Yeah, Second Spin was cool, man. Even for tunes and shit like that too. I'd always find a couple things on there. I'm like, oh fuck, I need that for the collection. And if I can pick up that, and then all of a sudden lead to like, well, I got like 15 albums now.
That's another thing with my local video stores. They didn't really have a lot of like the 80s stuff. So they had a couple, but like it wasn't until I started going to like Hastings that was in a bigger town, because I grew up in a real small town. So when I went to the bigger town, that's when I started finding like, I think the first like older movie that I ever watched that like was low budget horror was like Redneck Zombies. Mm-hmm. And so like I really liked that cover, and then I started diving deeper into that, after that. But
Redneck Zombies is good shit.
Redneck Zombies rules. It's so good.
I know. I've got a Redneck Zombies shirt that's like way too big for me now. It sucks. That's the only thing about losing so much weight is like all my old shit. They're so big on me. I just wear them around the house now. I'm just like, I literally just swimming in them. I'm fucking swimming in it. It sucks. but that's
what
one of them.
What size did you used to buy?
Well, I used to wear my shirts a lot bigger, but the problem is, and it's like not an excuse for being fucking fat, but my body is very misproportioned. Like I have 30-inch legs and I'm all torso. So when I was bigger, I had a hard time finding shirts that were long enough for me. Right. So I always had to get a bigger size. But the problem is with a lot of these companies is that they didn't get longer. They got wider. Yeah. Right. So I'd have some of these shirts, like a 2XL on me was fucking big, but it was kind of short. Right. Mm-hmm. So, yeah, I mean, fuck, man. I mean, even my larges now, because I need it for the length, they're too big. Like they're bulky on me. It's crazy, man. Like it's fucking, my body type is so annoying. And for pants, I can wear like 34 30s. Like you can't find those.
I'm just short. So like, I get it.
I'm 6'1".
How tall are you, Mike?
I'm 6'1" and I have 30-inch legs. I'm like, I'm weird.
I'm 5'7".
Yeah. And you probably have longer legs
taller than me.
Yes.
And you probably have longer legs than me.
Really?
Probably. Fuck, I got short legs, man.
I got 32 legs.
Yeah, that's longer than mine.
So, Mikey, now you're when did you decide that you wanted to act, bro?
So I was always like the hyper kid in school, and so like they would always ask me to do things for drama, even though I wasn't in drama, but they would always need somebody, and I would do it. And I always liked movies, but I didn't really like the drama thing. But I enjoyed the acting, just acting in general, and being in front of people and doing stuff because I'm an attention whore. So
sounds right.
Yeah, when I graduated, my mom was basically like, "I know you like this stuff, so I got you classes in Austin." So I've already paid for the entire month, so you have to go every week. So she kind of just forced me to do it because she knew I enjoyed it, and she knew that I wasn't going to take the initiative. Yeah.
Not only did she like support the act, and she actually forced you to do it. That's a good mom, because most parents are like, as a parent, you never want to let your kids get into the arts. They're like, oh, I want to be a rock star. No, you don't, motherfucker. They would rather have you work at McDonald's than try to be a fucking rock star, because that shit is just going to fucking never work out.
My dad is he had a recording studio, and my metal band used to practice in our recording studio. So they've always been super supportive.
Yeah, that's good.
Dude,
that's good.
My mom walked in on me during the scene in Header where the guy's making the grandpa bang the head.
Wow.
And, she didn't get mad at me. Okay. So she's cool.
So, I know you did you had a role in Robert Rodriguez thing.
Yeah. Red 11. That movie was pretty cool.
How'd that come about?
I have an agent, and he got me the audition, and it was pretty sick because he was like, "It's for a Robert Rodriguez movie. You want to do it?" And I was like, "Yeah," because I had an audition for the From Dusk Till Dawn TV show, but I wasn't able to make it, which sucked because I really wanted that. And so I was like, I'm never going to get that chance again. But then I did, and so I went, and it was cool. I was like, whatever, I'm just going to do this. And when we get to the audition, we're sitting in there, and then the people come out and they're like, "Hey, by the way, this movie, he's doing like a docu-series on it. So he's going to have a camera crew in there, and Robert's going to be in the room while you're auditioning." So it's like 3 people, one of them's Robert, and then one guy's a cameraman, and then the casting director. And it was like, oh shit, this sucks. And I went in there with all the confidence in the world. And during my audition, I said a joke, and it didn't land. And I was pretty sure I wasn't going to get that. And I didn't hear from him for about a month. And then I got a phone call from my agent. He was like,
maybe that's why you got the part, because your joke was so bad.
So I found out. So I auditioned for this guy named Score, and I don't know if y'all seen the movie. Y'all should check it out.
I have not.
It's on Tubi, and it's on Prime. It's a lot of fun. It's a cool thriller. But this character named Score, it's kind of like this weird, like breaking the third wall type thing. He's kind of scoring the entire movie while he's in the movie. He always carries around like a little piano, and he's like playing it like it'll to like pan over to him like during a serious scene. He's like has his hands on the piano. But anyways, I auditioned for that, and they're talking about what's the Italian guy, Sergio Ennio, the guy. Crap, you should know this one.
Yeah. I know who you're talking about.
Yeah, and I did the audition twice, and they wanted me to do it a third time, so I said, okay, I'm just gonna go for this joke. And I was talking about it, and the character's supposed to be really into these scores, and he says something about Sergio Ennio, and I was like, like Ennio face. And that's all I said, and they didn't laugh.
That's good.
But I went along with it. I went along with like them not laughing as if they weren't laughing at my character, and I was like, you know what I'm saying? And yeah, I didn't hear back from them. I thought that was the worst idea in the world. But I got a call, and I didn't get the part for score, but I got a part for a guy that watches movies.
Man, you got to be careful when you make jokes like that in auditions, though, man, because you're going to end up here. You're going to be auditioning for this movie right here, but then he's going to put you in Spy Kids 4.
Dude, I tried to get my agent to get me an audition for We Can Be Heroes 2. It didn't work out, but I tried.
Shit.
So that was cool though. So you ended up getting a role in there. That's awesome. I mean, that's a big name director.
Yeah. And the whole thing with that movie was they made it for really cheap, and the crew was him and his son. So like I got to actually like hang out in his office and like hang out with Robert Rodriguez. It was really cool.
Wow. That's awesome, man.
Yeah, but the whole time I was doing it, I had a wisdom tooth coming in, and I was miserable. So
shit.
Yeah, so I look like I'm fucked up on drugs in that movie and the character's supposed to look like they're fucked up on drugs, but that's just because my wisdom tooth was coming out.
Well, it worked out pretty good then.
I can tell you right now, bro, you have a great look for movies, man.
I appreciate that, dude. Thank you so much.
So I would love to see you in as much as you could possibly get in.
Dude, watch that movie. You'll get to see me get into a big fight for a guy spoiling movies for me.
That sounds
nice.
Great. Yeah, I've been meaning to check that one out. I'll definitely do it.
It's cool. I mean, it's a low budget movie.
Yeah.
You know, but it's fun.
Are you a fan of Italian cinema?
Yeah, I like it all. Of course, man. Yeah, I mean, I'm a big fan of like Italian, and I'm a fan of people that like Italian. You could like see it like Brian Paulin and stuff like that. You know, he's obviously a Fulci fan, so I like that kind of stuff. And I like it all. Yeah. I like Fulci.
I'm
I like
sorry about this, guys.
What's up?
I had to call Amazon back, and they literally just sent me the same email they've been sending me.
Fucking going around in circles, man. Fucking circles.
I tell them that.
That's brutal, man. That's just fucking brutal.
So, Mikey, like, you got anything lined up besides, you know, I know you just, I know your Butcher Bluff movie is supposed to come out next year, right?
Yeah, I mean, we've been going to the screenings for it, which have been pretty fun. That's been cool. So we got to see Butcher's Bluff finally. And then right now what we're working on is we're just writing the outline of the feature for Up on the Housetop. So
awesome.
So what's the end goal for Butcher's Bluff? Is it just going to, you know, kind of roam around in the indie circuit and then just go straight to video, or is it going to get a wider release, or what's the story?
He's gonna try and get a wider release. I don't know how all that works really right now. So but yeah, he's right now we're just sending it through the festival circuit. Or he's trying to send it through the festival circuit right now. He's going to try and get it on South by and whatnot. But yeah,
cool.
Yeah.
Well, when you
it's
make
a fun
it big,
movie,
bro,
man.
don't forget about us
Dude,
here on 22 Shots.
If I ever make it big, I want to come back on and hang out again.
If you ever make it big, you can make a movie about our podcast, 22 Shots podcast.
Here's the thing. A long time ago, I had asked Jeremy, this is back when he was on the show, I had asked him if he would get y'all, like if I ever made it and made a cool movie, if y'all could be like I don't know, like remember like San Andreas, all the radio shows that we'd be playing when you're driving around and whatnot, and they're like just funny. I was like, that would be so cool to have 22 Shots like on the radio, like talking, like having a conversation.
Yeah.
That'd be so sick.
Yeah.
Something like that would be really cool.
Yeah, dude.
That's awesome.
But yeah, dude, I'm very proud of you, bro. I hope you keep doing it, man.
Thanks, man. I appreciate y'all. Thanks for having me.
You've been a big.
A
some people might not know, but Mikey's been supporting us for a very long time.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I mean, for the people I think that have listened to the show for a long time, if you've listened to any of the 9 or 10 What We Watched, I mean, his names always get mentioned on there because he always supported the What We Watched monthly and stuff like that. So we reviewed a ton of his picks.
Yeah, Jeremy hated me
for good, and oh my, you were mean to Jeremy, like because you knew what Jeremy didn't like, and then you would just feed him that fucking trash, and he would literally be pissed off.
He would be like so mad about it, and I'd be like, dude, all you have to do is not freak out, and then people would stop giving them to you. And he's like, well, I can't not be honest, and I'm like, you don't have to not be honest. It's just
you just don't have to freak out. Just like, I didn't really care for it. It wasn't that good. Then I would be bored.
Yeah, everybody would be. Yeah. Nobody would give you shitty.
But since he would be pissed off about Hellinger, and he would like start screaming about the Like I had to do it.
Right. I mean, you
It was
can't not
funny.
do it, right? You got to feed the monster, man. You got to.
You gave him Hellinger
Dude. Yes.
Like the
I did.
Hellraiser ripoff?
Worst shit
Yes,
ever,
yes,
bro.
I did.
by Max Cerci. That is
Yes, I did.
unwatchable.
I've never seen that one before.
is-
I know about it,
No,
though.
bro, don't.
Man, it is bad.
Yeah.
The guy who plays Pinhead is so bad. He's like, yes, suffering.
What was the basketball one?
die!
you gave him?
So freaking funny.
Dude, that is
man.
so
Night of the
fucked.
Dribbler. Did you give him Night of the Dribbler?
Yeah, I gave him Night of the Dribbler. I gave him the toxic. Well, I tried to give him the toxic R word. I can't say that one. The R slur.
I understand.
Yeah, I tried to give him that one. He couldn't find it. I can't remember all of them. I gave him some bad stuff, man.
Oh, I know which one you're talking about. Yeah.
Yeah, I
There's
remember.
stuff
Did
that I
you give him the
despised.
violent shit movies, or was that something?
No, that
else?
was Jerry.
Oh,
Bro, you need to give Violent Shit the remake to somebody. That is unwatchable.
Yeah, that one was something.
Yeah. Total shit fest, man.
But that made it the best, you know? That was fun.
Yeah.
yeah. Fun for us.
Yeah, for sure. I mean,
Horrible.
but who
for
cares,
him.
right?
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
Jeremy.
Yeah, exactly. It was fine. You said the worst movie in the world is something about a Mississippi.
Beneath the Mississippi.
Yeah, I've never seen that one.
You know, JP, do you still have those same sentiments?
Yes, it's not
Really?
a movie.
Yeah. Well, I mean, either is Halloween 7, but
I
Oh,
would
No,
rather
we got to
watch
do that
Halloween
show.
7.
Movies that aren't real movies.
right.
Oh, I love that.
That's a whole theme for a show right there, man. Holy
I forgot about the other one I gave Jeremy was that Joe Castro movie, The Summer of Massacre.
Summer Massacre, yeah.
Yeah, where it has like the most kills on screen kills. and
There's
it's just
two of
awful.
them that are very similar in title. Is that the one
Yeah.
that has like it has like the
There's
craziest
the
amount
Summer
of like
of the
CG?
Massacre and the Summer of the Massacre.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's the Joe Castro one where it's like the CGI on it is
Yeah.
the worst thing in the world.
Yeah, I know.
That's the 2012 one.
I've seen that. I think I own that movie. Oh my! It was like actually, I was pissing myself laughing through the whole thing. It was so bad.
Yeah, and
I
do
couldn't even
too. I
believe
think
it was real.
I think they're hilarious, and Jeremy's like, "This motherfucker gave me this piece of shit," like just so mad
Yeah,
at me.
see, you
It's
can't
like
get-
just laugh about it.
You
They're
actually
just-
can't get mad at movies like that because it's just at that point pure comedy. How
Did
could
you
you
give
not
me
just sit there and
Slaughter
laugh at it?
Clause?
No, I didn't give you that. That was somebody
Oh.
else, and I remember you were like, "That's just not the correct one."
I had made a top 10 Tuesday video years back about the 10 worst movies in my collection. And I'm like, okay, before everyone's like, why do you even have these in here? Half of them are like fucking sequels to shit too, right?
Yeah, I remember the beauty pageant butcher or something like that.
Oh man, dude.
What's it called?
The fucking shot on video film, Beauty Queen, Butcher Beauty Queen or something like that.
Yeah, it's like a camp motion, right?
It is, but you know what's so fucked up about the movie? It runs over 2 hours, and like the beauty pageant in the movie is like an hour of the movie. It's like just uncut. It's the worst shit ever. It's like not even a movie. It's not even a fucking movie. It's brutal. But yeah, Slaughter Clause actually made my list. It's literally one of the worst things I've ever seen in my life. Like it's one of those movies that is like,
Yeah, I still need to watch that one.
it's edited the way like it'll cut to like a character and then like 10 seconds later they'll say something and then it'll cut to another character and then it'll just have this long awkward pause and then they'll say something. It's like that through the whole. It's so fucking.
It's like
tedious.
literally some dude just made a fucking movie by
But, like,
himself.
How could you edit it that bad though? Like at least have the editing spot on, like, cuts to this person, they start talking, the interactions are proper. Oh my God. Nobody.
I have that shit on DVD, bro.
Yeah, man. I actually had that sent to me by, I think it was Mr. Snickers 22 or Mr. Snickers, 21, whatever his name was. And he's like, it was so funny too, because I'd watched it and I said, bro, man, that movie was, he's like, yeah, I should have probably watched it before I sent to you. He's like, he got himself a copy too. And he's like, I don't even know if I can keep this shit.
I gotta watch it, man. That's just, I want to watch it.
Yeah. I mean, like, comparatively to like something like the Halloween 7, it seems like a masterpiece compared to Slaughter Clause.
Which I haven't even seen that one yet either.
Oh man.
Dude, the Halloween 7 is something else, man.
It's a 90-minute country western.
Yeah, that's what I heard you
video.
say.
Like, people think we're joking when we say that.
No, it's the only way to sum it up. That's how you describe that fucking, I'm going to say movie, quote unquote. I'm doing it with my fingers right now. It's not a movie.
There's actual just like long minutes of line dancing.
And
like
there's
long minutes.
They actually filmed it in a real bar.
I don't see the problem here.
They filmed it in a real bar
I'm from
with
Texas.
non-actors, and just like whatever was happening in that bar at that time, they filmed and made it into they put it out. I'm not going to say it's a movie. They just put it out.
Do werewolves come in?
No,
There's like
barely.
No, there's like no. It's oh my god.
It's POV werewolf vision.
Yeah.
Every once in a while, it'll cut to a like POV of a werewolf.
You never get to see one in the film at all. It's so done. It's done that cheaply, right? It's just such a cop out. It's really bad.
And the history of that movie is the weirdest shit, because like the guy who made it is like
the
somebody
star
who was involved in like a lot of the franchise or something. Like I don't know how the hell he did that.
Yeah, doesn't he play some of the music? He stars in it. He directed it. He wrote, like he did everything on it.
Yeah.
And it's just like the weirdest. It's totally like this, this kind of personal project that just went really south.
Joe Bob showed that on Monster Vision one time. And I'm curious to see if he knew anything about it.
I think it would be
I have
decent.
that episode downloaded somewhere.
I think it would be a decent one to do like a commentary on. Like, is Beneath the Mississippi worthy of doing a commentary? Or is it just so bad that you can't even like comment on anything? It's not like Hip Hop Witch, where it's just like everything is so stupid that you can't stop making.
Do one for Skin Deep.
That would be fun.
It would be fun, actually, because there is some fun moments. Like Plates is a fun character. And, he's literally throwing plates at people.
Hold on, Moodz. Did you say moments? That whole movie is fantastic.
I want to see Skin Deep in fucking on. I should pick up the Blu-ray to watch it on Blu-ray, because I want to see how the effects look on Blu-ray. Because
I have the Blu-ray.
I bought the Blu-ray. It's one of the only Blu-rays I have.
Wow.
Because to be honest, like in the DVD, like the way they did the green screen and the way they did some of the effects in that, it looks really bad. But it probably almost looks better on the DVD, because it's kind of hiding and misguiding, the way you're seeing things a little bit too. On Blu-ray, I think it would be almost too clear, because we were just talking about this, on a couple shows ago, something about Terminator. You can see fucking Arnie's wiener in 4K. It's like,
oh yeah, I heard
things are so clear now. Things are so clear that things are coming out of movies that weren't visible before in these lower fucking PQs.
Does Arnie have a hammer?
I haven't watched. I actually never looked to see if Arnie, I don't know anything about Arnie's penis. Don't have anything.
I feel like you would have to.
Would you be upset if he didn't? Because I would.
Yeah, I would. I'd be like, this isn't right.
Yeah. You couldn't look at him the same.
But so how did Skin Deep look on the Blu-ray?
It was fine. I mean, I guess it was better. They really just like expanded on some of the shots. So like one of the death scenes where like a guy gets his head blown off and you can see like his brain.
Yeah.
They just kind of put it on there for like, it was cut on the DVD.
Yeah.
So
things
it's
like
actually
that.
an uncut version then.
Yeah, stuff like that.
It's hard to believe that a movie like Skin Deep was released on DVD in a cut form. Why? Like, who is ever going to see that movie in the first place? Let alone actually have to cut some of the gore.
Was that a Fangoria title?
Yes, it was.
It was, and that's like actually kind of my
dead
point.
Meat and slashers. Yeah.
What was the one? Was Joe Spinell in it? Isn't there one from Fangoria that Joe Spinell was in?
He wasn't in Dead Meat, right? I don't think he would be in that one.
No.
Joe Spinell was not in any Fangoria Present movies, because Joe Spinell was long dead before Fangoria Presents ever made a movie.
Yeah, he was dead for like 15 years before.
When did Joe Spinell
died in like fucking 1989.
Yeah. It was like 15 years before they even started doing that Fangoria line. Actually, I think there was a couple in the early. Didn't Fangoria do
You're mixing
a couple?
up. All right, you're mixing this up, JP. You're mixing up the last horror film, which had Joe Spinell, with the last horror movie, which was the Fangoria.
That is what I was doing. You're correct.
Which is actually not bad.
Sorry,
that's actually not even bad.
I lost connection after all that. But the last horror film, then the one from Fangoria, I might have mixed up the titles. It's actually really good.
No, it's
actually pretty messed up film, man.
Yeah, it is.
Spinell died in 89, age 52.
Yeah, I was actually just having this conversation like 3 days ago with one of my buddies about Joe Spinell. That's kind of weird.
Great.
Yeah.
But yeah, you were right. I was thinking of the last horror film, not.
That's a great movie, surprisingly.
Yeah, the last horror film.
I've seen it before. Yeah, I like it.
Yeah, no, it's good. Yeah, Fangoria had done some pretty decent Presents movies, but okay. So going back to the whole Fangoria thing, going back to the whole Fangoria Presents thing, because obviously Fangoria was involved in this shit, which makes it even weirder that they would release these movies in a cut form. It's Fangoria. I mean, weren't they big advocates of like, against non-censorship and and all that type of shit in their magazine and shit? Like, come on, how could their movie that was presented by Fangoria be actually cut? It's like.
Actually, speaking of which, Mind Warp was a Fangoria film.
Yeah, Fangoria was definitely against censorship, and so that really fucking just blows my mind. So I actually had no idea. So you actually just learned me something on the show there, Mikey. I had no idea that was in a cut form.
Hell yeah.
So
yeah, it was different.
Actually, now I'm going to have to go and pick myself up the Blu-ray because I'm actually just really curious to see what it looks like, especially the scene where plates, I think it's on the vehicle and they're throwing plates back and forth or something's going on there. That scene, like you can tell the greens, like there's a lot of things that are going on there. And in fact, I think you can actually tell the way it's being acted, like there's nothing around. He's just kind of throwing shit into the fucking plain air. Shit, so.
I don't know what you're talking about. I think it looks immaculate every single time. Like,
hey Mikey.
Yeah,
have you ever seen Saint Bernard?
Yeah, I love it.
Okay, yeah, that's another film.
From Bartelos. Yeah, that guy's great.
Yeah. Yeah, Saint Bernard's a weird
is his
one.
name.
I do have the Blu-ray. Still yet to actually watch it though.
Saint Bernard is freaking banana pants.
I heard it's weird.
That movie
is very Bernard's weird. Better actually.
That is a dream of a film right there. That is it's a nightmare.
That one actually has Warwick Davis in it as well.
Yeah, it's weird, man. Like they have like rotisserie chickens on parachutes.
Okay, sign me up on that one. That sounds good.
It is.
I feel like it's movie. A little bit too long, but I enjoyed it. It was pretty.
Yeah,
cool.
I mean, it is one of the few movies that actually does feel like a dream, I guess, to me.
Yeah.
Like there's a guy with no legs that runs over a girl's legs. Like, I don't.
Is it just meant to be ironic or what?
I don't know. Like I don't even know how he's driving. Like I don't. He just gets out of the car and he doesn't have legs.
It's like the fucking. You ever watch that show? I can't remember when it was on the Comedy Network or something like that. But the Oblongs. You ever watch that?
Yeah, I remember, Will Ferrell.
He did the voice of the dad, and this shit used to kill me laughing. I used to piss myself every time I watched his show because it was totally for adults. But the dad in the show had no arms, no legs, and he'd just be driving around his family and stuff. And I'm like, how the fuck is this guy driving? He's got no arms and legs.
Like, didn't like the daughter have like a penis coming out of her head or something?
She had a bump on her head that was clearly shaped like a penis.
Yeah.
It was fucking hilarious. There were so many little quirks in that show that were just kind of subtle. You just kind of had, the penis bump wasn't really that subtle. It was clearly a penis coming out of her head. but
the funny thing about that was like she was the only one in that town that didn't have like obvious like mutations, and then you just saw this little penis on her head. Like,
right. So it's too bad it wasn't on longer. It was on like 2 seasons, but every episode used to make me laugh though, man. It was so funny. That was a good one, man. They never put that on media. I'd like to pick that up, actually. It's pretty fun.
They probably have it.
Yeah.
Somewhere.
Sweet. So we got any more questions for Fishy? I wish I had a fucking got all this shit together. I like doing the rapid fire. We could do.
We'll just have to do one when he comes back next time.
Did you you should do the 5 rapid fires. What are they? I'm sure you got them memorized.
No, the one that I ask everybody because it's just a funny thing to me, but the Fulci versus Argento.
Well, so I'm gonna go. I know it's gonna hurt you, man. I'm gonna go Argento because I like Deep Red more than any of the other movies, like out of everyone. So
I'm never mad at anybody's answers at all. I mean, if people even told me Fulci was terrible, I'd be like, well, it doesn't really matter because I still like him. So
I love Fulci, but I really like Deep Red. I really like Suspiria. I like everything though. Like they're both great. Like I sometimes I'm in more of a pretty mood, and then I'll throw on it's like Argento. But if I'm in a gritty mood, I'll throw on Fulci. You know what I mean?
Right.
Pretty versus gritty. I like that.
Yeah, pretty versus gritty.
I do find myself in it. I mean, obviously, I'm more of a Fulci fan in general, but I do watch Fulci films way more. Like I'll even watch like a lot of his like lesser known titles like Enigma and like just all those like random things. Like I'll watch that shit.
I actually watched that one for the first time the other day. I liked it.
Yeah,
that's good. I think Fulci is a easier watch.
Yeah,
for me, like I could throw on Fulci and like just really just enjoy. It's popcorn flicks for me. Right. Even though some of them you do got to think about a little bit. Like The Beyond, I didn't understand what the hell was going on the first time I watched that one.
Right.
But like,
Nightmare Logic.
Yeah, for sure. And then, with Argento, I try to pay attention a little bit more because I will get lost if I don't.
Right.
So.
Yeah,
and that's the thing with giallos though too. Like, I mean, sometimes I'm just not generally in the full mood for a movie like that. But I mean, that goes for any type of subgenres of film. Sometimes I don't feel like watching a vampire movie where I'll throw in like a fucking werewolf. You know what I mean? You know, it just depends what your kind of mood you're in. Like lately, man, I've been watching a lot of like just random slashers, man. I'll be like popping in like old 80s slashers. Like I watched Girls Night Out the other night again. And like just shit like that that's so random. And I'll get on these kicks where like, you know, once I start going down that rabbit hole with 80s slashers though, it sometimes lasts for like months with me though. I'll just rewatch fucking everything. Like
is it true that they're making a Mutilator 2?
Yeah. Yeah, it's already filmed.
That cover where she's like strapped to the
tree.
No, it's not a tree. It's one of those what are the docks out by the ocean. It has all the barnacles on it, and they have like a rope attached to her, like they're going to drag her up the barnacles.
I always get worried about sequels that are like 30,
any good, but
I feel like it's going to be so fucking cheap, man. I'm so worried.
Yeah,
but if they, I don't care how cheap it is. If they're dragging you up a thing of barnacles, that'll be freaking sick.
Yeah,
I remember when they posted that.
No, there isn't. I was wrong.
I literally thought it was like when they posted it, you know how the original poster is like by pick, by axe, by sword, by pick, by axe, by. I replied, I was like, by sword, by picks, by axe, by budget.
Yeah, that's good. That's good.
I just imagine it's gonna be, but it's the same director, and he only that's the only movie he ever directed.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's interesting. Actually, now that I'm looking at this set photo, Mikey, like because
the documentary's really good on that. I think it's on the Arrow Blu-ray. I think. Did you guys watch that one at all?
No,
on the Mutilator Blu-ray. I think there's definitely a documentary on there with the.
Are those barnacles though? I don't want to sound stupid. I don't live by like. Okay, that's what those are called. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. But yeah, that poster is actually like a scene from the movie. It looks like.
Okay.
I don't know. It doesn't look that cheap from the pictures. We'll have to see.
Yeah, I mean that's creative to me. Dragging someone up at that would just be.
I was shocked that actually got done. I was just like, what?
Yeah,
I had to look into it. I wasn't really 100% sure if it was even real or not. But
that is definitely a weird sequel because it's like there's not a lot of people that know about that movie outside of just horror fans. You know?
Yeah.
It's a weird.
Yeah.
Movie.
Well, we're gonna actually like if you go back, even like further, the Arrow release definitely helped a lot of people discover it.
When me and Dylan did that 124-hour video, the Arrow
Blu-ray wasn't. I watch it all the time.
It wasn't out yet. That was an old German like Dragon DVD or something I was playing of Mutilator, and so yeah, it was pre-Blu-ray. Now I will still get comments every once in a while where people will literally just write, "We're gonna have a good time," and then like it always makes me laugh.
Mikey, you did your own marathon.
Yeah, I got that from Moodz. Yeah,
and then I got it from both of you.
Yeah, that was a fun time, man.
You need to do another one.
I should do another one.
Yeah,
with Lily, with my beautiful girlfriend Lily.
Yeah. I love doing them, man. They're so much fun. So much fun.
Yeah.
I'm down to do that.
Yeah, those are fun. The one that me and Carly did was really fun.
You got to pick better movies next time, dude.
I did pick some shitty ones.
Y'all, everything was fun except for when y'all would review the movies because it was just like, yeah, it was cool.
Right? Yeah.
Like
yeah,
I
literally
loved
just
the adventure.
Picked random shit in my collection that I'd never seen.
I absolutely loved you going around your town and showing it. That was super sick. And then I loved that you got some weird like pizza burger.
I did get a pizza burger.
Like all that I loved, but then the movies you were showing, it's like y'all could give two fucks about them.
Right? Yeah. Pick better movies. Yeah, but no, we should do that again, and we could even.
We should meet one in person, man. Fuck it,
dude. When y'all all met for that freaking what was it that y'all all just met with?
Cinema
Wasteland. Dude, I couldn't be more jealous. That looked like a blast.
It was literally. I've done a lot of things in my life. I've had a lot of fun experiences. That was one of my favorite.
We had a blast later too. We hung out that one weekend.
Yeah.
I just want to let y'all know that I would have hung out with y'all the whole time.
Oh, that was last weekend, wasn't it?
Yeah, that was fun.
That one weekend. You mean last weekend?
We're gonna come out and see them in Rowville Mall on the 28th.
Yeah.
All right, when are y'all gonna come to Texas Frightmare?
Absolutely never.
Know, bro.
I've
Listen,
wanted to
Mikey,
go.
Come
but-
to Ohio next year. We're doing it again.
I've wanted to go, but I've talked to people that have been to night, and they said over the last few years, man, it's just gotten so ridiculous. Like it's so busy, the prices are out of control, and it's just like they said it's not as fun anymore.
Well, that's probably true, but they're now moving locations to a bigger location.
Okay,
so maybe it won't be as bad. I'll get back to you, let you know.
Yeah.
Yeah,
but I just think convention prices have gone through the roof as it is. But
for sure,
they have. It's everywhere, dude.
Yeah,
it's just
Wasteland is still probably one of the better ones price wise for a lot of people. Like a lot of guys will be signing for cheap.
I agree that it was definitely on the lower side of what I've seen.
But there is this cool guy in Texas that has the best shirts. I mean, I got a Riccio shirt from him, a Last Dragon shirt, like dolls. He sells them for $10 a piece.
Riccio.
Wow.
If I saw a Riccio shirt, I would fucking buy 2 of them, man.
And they are fantastic quality.
Nice.
Yeah, I literally have a shirt from Last Dragon that just has Show Enough on it, and it's so sick.
That's awesome.
It is so sick. $10.
Yeah.
Where?
So it's just this guy. Yeah.
Does he have like a whole line of Cat 3 fucking shirts and stuff?
I don't even know if he has anything online, but like I'm telling you, his spread, and he's always like every hour he like switches them out and like puts new stuff out, and it's crazy stuff, dude. It is so sick. Yeah.
Yeah, the shirts always catch my eye, man. I mean, I have ridiculous amounts of shirts, but I always love them. Like, you know, I could feel like I could just never have enough, but my wife would probably disagree.
I mean, he even you remember that old movie, The Abomination?
Yep.
I had one of those
All
shirts.
Things Desolate.
Yeah, he had one of those shirts, and I bought the Abomination shirt, and I was walking around, and this guy stops me. He's like, "That's a cool shirt," and I was like, "Yeah, this guy was selling it over there." He's like, "Oh, I directed that movie."
Yeah,
that's
awesome.
Like, oh, shit.
Dude, we got a funny story about those guys. They showed up to Wasteland. The director of that movie, or the writers or something, of the Ozone, Attack of the Redneck Mutants, and Abomination.
Yeah, and Replicator.
Oh, I've seen Replicator. I didn't know. They're like Brett McCormick. Is that his name?
Yeah.
Brett McCormick. Replicator.
And I can't remember who they all were. I know there was like a couple of them there, like the filmmakers of that movie. And like we snuck in like at the last minute of Ozone Attack because we were talking to them about it earlier in the day. We snuck in for Ozone because the next movie coming on is what we wanted to watch. And they were leaving like. And they thought we had watched the whole movie, and they're like, "Hey, guy!" They were excited that we showed up. And we're like, "Yeah, it was great." Like, we didn't really bullshit them. I didn't bullshit them. I was just like, "Yeah," I just nodded.
That's hilarious.
Dude, that's awesome.
Speaking
I don't want to tell them we just stuck in for the next movie.
Yeah, right. There was. You guys just reminded me of this when we were talking about conventions. But I was at the Monroeville Mall one, Dave. And there was a guy that was selling. They were like movie poster, like art frames. Like he made like these 3D models of like the movie poster to where it looked like the poster was 3D, and it had like those little lights in the back. You know.
Oh, that guy's from Texas. He's at all the Texas ones.
Really? Well, there's probably more than one person doing that.
What's he look like?
I don't know. I can't remember. But the funny thing is that I forget what movie it was, but the guy who made the poster for the movie was there, and he was like trying to get one of those for free. And the dude was like, best I could do is like half off or something. And he's like, I fucking made the poster, dude. Like, they like were arguing, bro. It was just so like awkward.
You know which would be a really cool poster to get done in like
funny.
a 3D would be fucking Poltergeist. Fuck, I'm so used to saying that, man, because that's what I watch all the time. Poltergeist 3. You know the artwork for Poltergeist 3?
Yeah, for sure.
That would be a fucking cool ass 3D poster right there.
There was some really cool ones. I like the Elm Street 3 one because like the part where they're walking on the blades.
Right.
You know what I mean? Was like out. I like that.
Yeah.
Dude, I feel like it has to be the same guy.
It might be, but he was arguing with the guy who made a poster of some movie.
Yeah, he'll make a bunch of them that like obviously he'll do like the ones that are of like the guests that are there, so they'll get signed, and he sells them for so much money.
I mean, if you think about it, right? Like there probably is some legality to just taking someone's poster and
there definitely is. Yeah, no, the guy the director for Butcher's Bluff, he owns the image. He owns the image of the Hogman, who's the killer in it, and basically if anyone like because there was somebody that was like trying to sell like a piece of it without talking to him, and he got like pissed and like went over there and like made him not sell it.
Yeah, that's why there's officially licensing things. Like you copyright your image or your logo or whatever and stuff like that. It comes down to music and stuff. Like, you can kind of bootleg things, like a Gangstar symbol or some shit like that. You get the officially licensed stuff, which is it's all copyrighted and stuff, right? So you do have to pay for that to officially release it. Like to Fright Rags and stuff. All the images that they use on there, those are all officially licensed. They'll even tell you officially licensed and stuff like that. Most shirt companies now don't really do that.
Most shirt companies are not licensing the stuff.
No, it's way too expensive, man. It's way.
I'm sure there's a way. I'm sure there's like a way around it.
Yeah.
Well, but someone sends a cease and desist, and you just stop selling it. But you already made whatever you know what I mean.
Yeah. And then you just change where you're selling it. You just throw it onto somewhere else, and you sell a bunch more. It's like. Or you just move on to the next image because there's a million fucking horror movies that people want shirts of.
Right. A fun tidbit. We got a cease and desist from or not a cease and desist really. It was like a warning basically from St. Nicholas Music that we couldn't use Rudolph in our movie.
Wow.
Yeah. But we had already.
I'm surprised that's not public domain, but I guess.
There's like a million different. It depends what version, right?
No, you can't use Rudolph. So basically, Rudolph's red nose is like patented. Like you can't take that. Like you can't use that at all. Yeah, and so like we got from St. Nicholas Music. So it was hilarious. But we had already.
I wouldn't even have thought that was real. I would have been like, this is a fucking joke.
So they were basically like, hey, we see that you're like. They did it. They did it for our fake movie trailer. They're like, we see that,
which isn't for profit, so technically you could use that.
Yeah, they could. Yeah, I don't think they could do anything. But
I mean, you guys don't have Rudolph in it. You have Randolph.
That's funny. No, we already knew the rules to it. We already looked. We had a guy that was his job to find out what we could use and what we couldn't. Like that's his. He works on. We had one of them, but no, a different guy. Yeah, a different guy that like that's his job is to find stuff out like that.
Right.
And yeah, so we already knew about that, but they were like, so we don't have Rudolph in the movie. We were using the original 8 because Rudolph didn't come until way later. So like, we wanted his original reindeer in the first place. But if we could use Rudolph, that'd be sick. But yeah,
you got Olive?
We don't have Olive either. I feel like
who the hell is Olive?
Isn't that who he's in love with?
Olive, the other reindeer, bro.
Why did I think?
You never heard that joke?
That's pretty funny. I thought Olive was the one that Rudolph was like in love with. Who's
no? That's the joke. Is Olive the other?
No, I get the joke, but I'm wondering who it is.
Oh, I see.
It's not a good joke.
No, it's a great joke. But don't ever downplay yourself like that, Dave. That is great.
It's an old man joke.
It didn't land.
Play on words.
No,
if you guys,
it landed right on the roof
with all of the other reindeer.
All right. So, anyways, speaking of fucking reindeers and shit, should we get to these reviews?
Yeah.
Nah, let's not do them.
Okay.
We didn't do them last year. Why do them this year?
Right, exactly. I mean, we could just do another 2 hours with Mikey. Maybe write some fucking script or something. I don't know, but
yeah.
No, let's move this along here, and we'll be back here in a couple minutes with this year's featured reviews.
Yo, who this?
Yo, Moodz, it's your boy, the ill-mannered Funky Child, calling you to remind you that the featured reviews on this episode contain spoilers.
Aw, yeah, man, that's right, brother. Thanks for the heads up, player. Now go back to being an unproductive asshole.
Fuck you. Now tell your listeners to stop being so dumb, silly, sensitive.
Yeah.
And now, our feature presentation.
All right, so moving along into the featured reviews here for episode 233, Christmas show. Well, I'm always confused on these because what is this, 9 or is it 8, JP?
Bro, you're way of the Christmas year.
Yeah,
this would be our
because we missed last year and that was the first one. So
9th
is 9
Christmas show.
Yeah, whatever. Doesn't really matter. 9th Christmas show.
Yeah, but this is like the 12th listener's choice or something, I think.
Something like that.
There's only one listener's choice in this, though.
Still counts.
Yeah. Okay. So, and that's the thing. We'll briefly talk about this too.
Volume 15, listener's choice.
Right. So we missed last year's show, and this first film was actually one of the picked films from last year. And so what we did this year is we took one of the ones that we didn't get to last year. We picked one ourselves, and then we let the listeners pick the third one. So this one right here is...
technically, Dave, this is 2 because they picked this last year.
This is the one that...
I guess.
Yeah, this is the one they picked last year. All right. So from 1989, we got Elves, which is still stuck in VHS obscurity. No DVD release or so on.
Listen... I think that Terror Vision can find a way to release the shit because they released the fucking soundtrack.
Yeah, I mean, music is different than
it is, but
then there might be other issues. Who knows? Who actually ever released Elves originally? Like what company did? Because maybe that's.
I looked this up before because I was trying to track down the rights because I was gonna see if I could figure out who owned them and tell someone else that had a company. Because I was like,
I thought you were going to sound really cool and be like, well, I was going to try and figure out how to do it myself.
I would.
But that's JP's laziness right there. He's like, well, I was going to go tell someone else.
That's my poorness.
Yeah, your poorness. Yeah, or laziness, whatever.
Yeah.
Maybe that's why you're poor.
Listen,
Moodz secret Republican.
we need
gosh. Could you imagine? Oh my god.
We need to
just the comments.
Create our own label, man. 22 shots releasing.
Yeah, well, that would actually.
You don't want to name it 22 shots.
Well,
no.
probably
that's
not.
That's not a bad name.
Do you notice how I never say 22
not.
shots? I always say triple shots. I always say triple shots. Yeah. Anyways. So, yeah, 1989's Elves. Quick synopsis. It's not really that quick. It's actually way too long for what it is. A young woman discovers that she is the focus of an evil Nazi experiment involving selective breeding and summoning elves, an attempt to create a race of supermen. Oh my god. She and 2 of her friends are trapped in a department store with an elf, and only Dan Haggerty, aka Grizzly Adams, as the renegade loose cannon Santa Claus, can save them. That synopsis sounds fucking badass.
That is what happens, though.
AIP.
He's way too low energy to be a fucking loose cannon. Dan Haggerty is so low energy in this movie. He's so casual.
Dan Haggerty has the most sad eyes I've ever seen in my life.
Dan Haggerty,
he looks like
he gave me fucking
like
his secondhand cigarette smoke gave me cancer.
He smokes so much.
You know
I didn't
what,
realize
man?
that.
I realized after rewatching this movie yesterday, there is a fucking reason why I haven't watched this in like 15 years, because it sucks.
Dude, fuck you.
Dude, bro, this movie's awesome.
This movie is so fucking boring, man.
Oh,
It's
this is
great. This is a Christmas miracle, Moods.
You know what I like about this movie is that it has such an awesome sounding premise. I love the whole Nazi experiment thing, and it goes all weird because our main character, her grandpa, is actually this Nazi who, you know, his daughter's involved, and then his granddaughter is the main focus of this, and then they need to like breed her with these elves to make these hybrids and things like that.
And don't forget, she's an
really
incestuous offspring.
Yeah, I was going to say, you know what JP likes about it.
Well, that's what I'm saying. There's so many.
It has everything I like. What are you talking about?
There's so many cool.
Dan Haggerty.
Cigarette smoke.
That's his number one.
Incest.
Little creatures.
Actually, that's wrong. JP, that's wrong. This movie is so misleading because it's called Elves, pluralized. No, there's one elf in this movie.
Yeah.
And that's actually one of the problems with this movie, though, too, is that, like, it's not the core narrative. It's there.
Did you just assume that elf singularity?
Yeah. There's one fucking... I don't really understand why they did that.
Well, not only that, but the tagline is they're not working for Santa anymore.
And the VHS has a bunch of elves on the cover.
Yeah, it's really misleading. But
I'm glad
this movie has such a great core narrative idea, but the execution is so sloppy and just kind of boring. I think Dan Haggerty is totally miscast here. Like he kind of looks.
No, he's the best part of the movie.
Well, he's miscast in the sense
I think the brother is.
He's miscast in my personal opinion because like he obviously kind of looks like a Santa Claus. It kind of makes sense in that, but he's just like, you know, what he's supposed to be. He's supposed to be this guy that's saving the day and this renegade loose cannon. He's not that at all.
But it fits perfect because he's supposed to be. He's a rundown, good-natured guy.
Ex-cop. Down on his luck.
Ex-cop.
But I love how he talks to everyone. He's like, don't you kids believe in anything anymore? He's so fucking. I love what dude. He's got the best quotes, dude. He barges in fucking the dude's Christmas dinner, and he's like, "Man, this is only gonna take a minute. Can you talk to me about the elves?" He's like, "Elves." And then this movie is the first time I realized like that it's not just made stupid on accident. It's kind of a purpose. Like this is a comedy.
Well, see, that makes it even worse for me there, because it doesn't seem like with this core, like even the way things are developing and like, it doesn't seem like it should be comedy at all. It feels like it's just coming off really bad. Well, it has this really good idea, and they're just making it bad. But
it's not a great idea. The idea is so absurd, it's hilarious.
Well, that's right.
The idea that they're trying to master race with elves, that's clearly comical.
No, but it's not even just...
There's 2 or 3 parts I'll point out that are clearly comedy.
It's the hybrid idea that kills me. Yeah. Oh my God, dude. That's
the
funniest shit.
First point, it's like pure blood Aryans, and then it's like, but then there's like the Antichrist.
You know what's so stupid is that she's literally the last... she's the last pure Aryan virgin left in the world.
Yeah.
I'm like, what the fuck?
You know what's completely fucked?
So stupid.
Everything's fucked about this. It's rated PG-13. There's straight up, you can see Muff is fucking, dude, the mom in this movie is so insane. The quotes are hilarious.
Such a bitch. The first time you meet her, she's like, "I'm taking all your money out of your savings."
I would have killed my mom right on the spot. Like I said, right when she killed my cat, I would have made her eat her teeth. I would have killed her.
Dude, it's so absurd.
That was so freaking funny.
Like, this movie is just as good as Night Killer. Everyone's like, Night Killer is the best. This is the same caliber.
No, but Night
Killer's on accident for sure.
Night Killer's definitely made accidentally bad.
Accidental. This is iffy. This is for judgment. Is it on purpose or not?
The thing is with this movie that's kind of frustrating, and it's like, because it seems like it's being serious with the idea, and the characters are all very not likable. Even our fucking lead daughter's not even that likable. She bitches and complains literally everything she says in the movie. She's whining. She's always complaining.
But she found out her fucking grandfather is her father,
but this is
and
also
her mom's a bitch.
But this
and
is
her
also
brother's
before.
A peeping Tom.
Yeah, this is
her brother is fucking a pervert. He's like the ultimate pervert over Night of the Demons.
He's the best character in the movie.
Little midget creature.
Dude, I love when he said, he's like, what does he say about her big fucking tits?
Yeah, he's like,
I saw your big tits. I'm gonna tell everyone.
I like big tits, and I'm gonna tell all my friends I saw them.
Dude,
no.
When the
best lines in the movie.
Oh no, sorry. When the grandpa goes into the room and just starts slapping her in the face, it is the funniest. I howled.
That's such an exploitation of Nazis.
After that, he just goes, "Sorry." It's just like,
and like, dude, even the grandfather's like so weird because he's like, on one hand, he's like acting like he loves his granddaughter and shit, and then it's like just weird, man.
It is weird because like the 2 points I point to this movie are literally the comedy moments. Are when the guy looks directly at the camera and he's like, "Elves." The trailer, and when they're like, "What's wrong?" Gramps is a Nazi, and it immediately just cuts.
Yeah. Well, there was also the scene that had to have been comedy whenever he does go into that doctor's house to explain.
Yeah, that's the part. It ends with the elf scene. That whole scene is
like whenever he's really two schools of thought. Like this is some sort of like.
No, the doctor's a great actor, by the way. The doctor's a great actor. He's the best actor of the movie.
He's the best actor, and whenever he's explaining it, it just pans over to his 2 little girls, and they're just looking at him like.
Yeah,
that is pure comedy.
Talking about virgins, and
I think it's easier to judge it like that watching this movie like fucking 33 years later and being like, yeah, this shit's funny too. But I don't know if the intention was fully there. I think
that was a comedy scene on purpose.
No, there's definitely comedy scenes. Like, I mean, we got the whole scene right here. Like, Kirsten,
as a whole, it's debatable.
Like, what are you doing, you pervert? I'm not a pervert. I like seeing naked girls. I'm your fucking sister. You got big. Like, I'm gonna tell everyone I saw them. Like, that shit's funny as hell, right?
So is the scene where they barges into the thing. That's clearly played for comedy. The way it's edited, the air in between the scenes, And
whenever that German henchman with the mullet gets shot twice, and then he like falls over, and while he's falling over, he hands the guy the gun. Did y'all notice that?
I don't think that's comedy on purpose. That might be an accident.
You know what's funny to me that's not meant to be funny is the scene in the department store, like where they have that kind of shootout and stuff and people are all getting capped. That shit is edited so poorly together. Like pretty much everyone that dies is like off screen, and it comes off as being so corny and so terribly done. I'm just like, oh my God, this movie's so cheap.
Well, I mean,
like when the friend all of a sudden gets shot, like where did she get shot and how and stuff? I'm like all of a sudden like, oh my God, she's fucking, yeah, I know, but like it's completely off screen, and it's like, okay.
Yeah, a lot of them are off screen. which is
but
terrible.
it just kind of comes out of nowhere. But the whole scene
didn't look like it had a big budget.
It's really edited poorly. Like I actually went back and I even rewound the scene. I was like, what the fuck is this? Like it's all put together, all messed. I was like, oh man, this shit.
You guys
is
know
messy,
I've seen this movie like 5 times because of you guys.
I've watched it a bunch too.
This is the first time watch for me.
I think that
first time watch for Mikey Fish.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah.
All of the movies.
I think that the elf, and I'm not going to pluralize that because there's one elf. He looks pretty fucking cool. We don't get to see him a lot until the end. And there's actually a really funny scene in the end of the film where the elf actually picks up a gun and shoots one of the Nazis. I think that shit's funny. And that's
it reminds me of a shitty gremlin, dude.
One of the best looks you get to see.
They remind me of the ones from
effects.
the gate.
I think the elf looks pretty fucking gnarly. And unfortunately, there is a couple scenes in here that do come off really funny because I don't mean to be rude or nothing, but there's a couple scenes where they literally, the way the elf is kind of like standing and with his head all turned, and he looks very, very handicapped. And I'm like, I started laughing because I'm like, it's not supposed to come off. It's supposed to be frightening and scary because he's like very demonic looking and stuff. But the best scene is when he picks up the gun and shoots a Nazi. That shit's funny as hell. But the end of this movie is horrible. Like the fucking elf stone and shit. Oh my God, it's so bad. It's so bad. It's so poorly done.
Did you guys read the trivia at all? Do you know why they hired Dan Haggerty?
Why?
Because he looked like Santa?
No, for real though. They hired him because they needed a fog machine and they couldn't afford it. And they knew that he smoked so much that he would just fill the screen with fucking
Shut the fuck up.
Dude, I swear he smoked so bad he gave me cancer.
Afford the fog machine.
He just looks so unhealthy in this movie.
Well, what do you think Dan Haggerty died of? He died of fucking lung cancer. No, he did.
No,
he actually did.
He had to have. Like, dude, he's so funny in this to me. He's just like, where's your Christmas spirit? He's so fucking low energy, but it
dude, the
works
fact that
perfect
he
for this.
lived to 73 is like mind blowing.
Well, it's crazy too.
It's like a miracle.
John Wayne's looking at Dan Haggerty
it's a Christmas miracle.
John
Wayne. I was gonna say.
John Wayne probably fucking said Dan Haggerty smoked too fucking much, and we know the fucking story with him, man. It's like both those guys live way too long. They smoke too much, but yeah, you're right though. He's very low energy, and like the way he delivers his lines in here, it's like. I don't even to me it just feels like he's just calling the shit and he's phoning this performance and like
I love it. Favorite part of the movie.
I love him too, dude. I just think he comes off so genuine. Like he
seems nice. Like I want to be his friend.
He seems like just a nice guy that got wrapped up in this shit and now he has to.
Can I help you at all?
I tried to separate.
You got a
myself.
job for me?
I'm not a fan of like the Grizzly Adams stuff, so I'm not a fan. I actually don't really. I've never really cared for his acting that much, so. But in this movie, it's awkward. It's just he's too calm. He has no energy. It would have been a lot funnier. It would have been a lot funnier to me, and I think a lot more effective too if he had been like, he's that ex-cop. He's down on his luck. He's drinking too much, but then he just fucking starts like going apeshit.
Well,
like seeing Dan Haggerty go crazy, it would have been funny.
But we've seen that a million times though in the movies. We always have that renegade ex-cop who's just crazy. It's hilarious that this guy is just so low energy and good natured and just down on his luck.
Yeah, like he doesn't feel like a superhero. Like a
he's
fucking
just
John
guy.
McClane, right?
Yeah.
Like he's
I know
just
this guy. I met this guy before.
No, I just think it would have been funny with him because he always seems to play that type of character that's like, he's always that type of character, right? But so if he had been bad shit in this,
didn't he do The Chilling this year? 89? I think it's The Chilling is a pretty bad movie too.
Didn't we bring that up last week
kind of the
too?
same character. Yeah, I brought The Chilling up again because I don't know. We got to watch The Chilling for the show now.
So random that I brought up 2 weeks in a row.
I brought up The Chilling 2 weeks in a row. No one's ever talked about it.
No one's ever talked about it in 2 weeks in a row.
That's hilarious. Mom is such a bitch in this.
The mom, I kind of liked her butt.
Is the mom?
I think she had fake boobs.
Is she a raging bitch because like she's the fucking project of a Nazi?
Yeah, I think they were going with that.
She's the incest baby.
Right, but like she just kills the fucking cat in the toilet, bro.
Yeah, and buries outside.
And then she's like, "Well, you're working hard for I'm gonna take all your savings account." Like this mom she was a real fucking raging bitch, man. Like that character is just horrible, man.
That's what also makes it funny as shit to me.
Yeah, it was hilarious. Like she was overly bitchy, and it was funny.
I do think it's funny.
There's pictures of Dan Haggerty, and he's not fat. Is that weird to you guys? He used to be skinny.
Yeah, he was skinny
at
one time.
That's
weird.
Yeah,
that is weird.
I think it's not even coincidental or ironic that that the way she dies in the film either. I mean, come on, it had to be something to do with a body of water. Yeah,
I like how they're like when he goes to that dude's dinner, he just goes to the dude's house, and he's like talking about how like the Nazis like wanted to use these elves because there's these silent assassins, and meanwhile then like a scene later the elf is like knocking off Christmas bulbs from the tree.
I just
and
really
I'm
like
that's not it, bro.
I like the shoehorned conversation they were having, the kids and the dad, before he walked in. Like the director was just like, just talk about the turkey, and like you could just tell it was, is that roast beef? It's roasted turkey. Like it's just so stupid.
Yeah.
The grandpa's
and then he's like, he looks over and he's talking to his daughters or something, and then he's like, all right, your minute's up, and Haggerty's already running down the stairs.
or what about the coked out Santa Claus dude that he fucking stabs him in the dick?
Oh yeah, and the wiener.
Oh yeah,
yeah, it's pretty awesome.
Gave him a nutcracker.
Yep.
Hey,
give him a nutcracker.
Dave, that was something.
Man, the grandpa in this movie is such a fucking mystery to me, man. Like, like they've got this plan to do this shit, but then he's like not going through with it.
He's reformed now,
but it's
at
like
the time he wasn't.
But it was like, I guess really because she's the one that summons up this and that's the other thing about the narrative though too. It's like
stupid.
She's the one that summons up this fucking elf. It's actually not the Nazis.
Yeah.
Like that's the weird part about the narrative too. That just
it was prophesized, man.
It's confusing. It's just confusing. But
I love this movie though. I've always loved it ever since I first seen it like 10 years ago on YouTube. It's been a regular watch of mine, and I've always just wanted a Blu-ray because it is very dark on like any version I've ever seen of it.
I'm gonna sit here and rag on the movie, but the second Terror Vision fucking puts it out on Blu-ray, I'll buy one. I'm stupid. I'm dumb.
Yeah, I mean, it's like obviously it's not like a great like well-crafted
it's not.
film, but it's fucking absurd, and I love absurd shit.
I know me and Dave, we always go back and forth on this. Like, you like this movie, but you hate this one because of this and that and stuff. Like, there is certain reasons because I feel like there's a better movie here. Like, the core idea is so absurd that it should be awesome, right? Maybe some more elves, maybe some better kills, keep some of the other stuff in there. It's fine. But, there's just certain things about this movie that drive me nuts. And honestly, I won't lie. I think the pacing to this movie sucks. It's boring at times. It's very... It's not even with dialogue. I'm fine with dialogue. I could watch movies with dialogue all day if it's fucking entertaining. But like, there's just certain things I just find people are bitching, complaining. It's not exciting. I'm just like,
but also, like, it does start off right away. Like the elf comes out like
but then we never get to see the elf really. We see the elf like minorly.
See his little feet.
And then towards the end, we get this awesome scene where
it's not the most exciting movie, but the dialogue in between is hilarious because everyone's acting like a fucking alien. Like the manager in the store is such a dick. Like he's like, "You're paying for everything." He's like, "My friends just died. Shut the fuck up."
Yeah. And I kind of like how they're just in the
that guy's straight cartoon. He's straight
I like
cartoon.
Stuff like that.
Did you guys see The Police Detective? Who he is? Tell me what movie he's in.
I got nothing.
It's fucking.
I'm trying to think of what was his name in the movie.
He's the police detective that knew Dan Haggerty. He's in 2 movies that we watched.
The police detective.
He's in Blood Games. He's the main bad guy, and he's also in Hellraiser 3 as the cameraman.
No shit.
And he's also in Tammy and the T-Rex. He's paired up with fucking Buck Flower.
Oh fuck! I didn't even think about that one. But as soon as you said Blood Games, totally.
Yeah, he's in all those movies. I don't remember his name off the top of my head, but he's in a bunch of shit that I've seen recently. He's kind of like that one Gregory Scott Cummings where I just noticed him, and I was like, this guy's in like 100,000 movies I've seen.
Yeah, that's funny. Yeah, Blood Games, man. That movie's way better than it should be.
It's just...
Blood Games is fucking awesome.
It is good, man. It is a good movie.
The mom is just... She's credited as Kristen's mother.
Yeah.
She actually died too. Jeez.
Just recently, yeah.
Jesus.
She looks so familiar. Like, what else was she in? What? There's a Superstition 2? That's not an official sequel to Superstition, is it?
She was Dee Dee in Hammerhead.
Oh, of course, yeah.
But Superstition 2? Like, are we talking about like 1986's Superstition? Like, what? I didn't know there was a sequel.
Yeah, I think like a half sequel. I've seen that movie pop up before, but it's got a bunch of alternate names.
I was gonna say it has to, man. Huh.
I'm looking up what she's in because she is very familiar.
She was in the original Batman series. Oh, she did 2 episodes on the original Batman series. That's
she was also in the Hulk, the Incredible Hulk.
I don't know. There's something about her look. She looks so familiar, but maybe I remember from Tank Girl.
She looks like No, maybe not. I was gonna say she looks like the mom from Night at the Roxbury, but that's just in this picture.
Yeah, it could be.
Oh, she's in Sting of Death, your favorite William Dafoe movie.
Yeah. Weird. She's got one of those faces. Just looks very, very familiar, but I don't really recognize too much. Like
Transylvania Twist might have been it. I don't know.
Yeah.
She is very familiar.
Very familiar. Interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway. Yeah.
What else?
Actually, one line in the movie that did make me laugh now that I think about it was when Haggerty's like, he's going to look up those occult books and they're like, yeah, those ones are in section 666. And he's like, you got to be kidding me.
No, but he's so low energy. He's like, it's got to be some kind of joke.
Actually, now that I think about that, it's pretty funny.
I love how low energy he is, bro.
I know. Dan Haggerty's like, his performance is kind of like he's always trying to talk you down from killing yourself. Just relax, man. You're going to be okay.
Right.
Let's go out and talk about it.
There was three guys trying to kill your daughter and that creature.
Hey, listen. You don't have to be so mean about this whole situation. It's Christmas after all. I'm Dan Haggerty.
I just feel like it was going to turn into like a PSA announcement for like, quitting. He's going to tell people to quit smoking while he was smoking a cigarette. It's like
I love how the Elves keywords on IMDb, the top 5 are father-daughter incest, pet cat, incestuous rape, perverted boy, and female protagonist.
What?
Perverted boy.
That's awesome.
Love it.
That's hilarious. Great. Nazi mall Santa.
Man, this tagline,
born from rape.
This fucking tagline.
Hey, that's why they stealing my band name. Born from Rape. That's my band name.
Wow.
That's the most tasteless fucking name. If that was your band name,
I wouldn't book something.
They'd never get booked.
Born
I don't know, man.
They'd get booked. They'd get booked for sure.
I think one of my favorite band names of all time, and it's like the greatest example of a band that just like we're sticking in our lane and we're never going upwards with this, but is like Anal Cunt. That's like the funniest band.
Anal Cunt's funny because their logo, the A has a butthole and the C has a vagina.
It's so awesome.
Yeah,
that's clever, man.
Yeah,
that's clever.
There was a local band here in Austin that was called Show Me on the Doll. Like they're
jeez.
Show Me on the Doll.
I know this other band that's called Short Bus Pile Up. Like I know so many bad band names, dude.
What's your band's name?
Virtue, which is like the complete opposite of all that.
Man, this tagline is such bullshit, man. 'Twas the night before Christmas, and all through the town, bloodthirsty elves are about to get down. Yeah, I get the rhyme. Okay, it's corny, but again,
this is the type of guy that if he saw this in the '89, he would be trying to get his money back because of fucking false advertising.
That sounds like a Dave Z thing. That's a Dave Z thing.
That is a total.
He's like, listen, I don't give a goddamn. There's only one elf in this movie.
I didn't see this movie until probably maybe like the mid '90s or something. It was later. Like I was in my mid-teens or something.
Oh, Dave Z would be.
I don't remember.
Bad.
I remember.
I hate this movie so bad.
I like Dave Z, man. Dave Z's cool, man.
We all like.
Yeah,
Dave
he's the
Z.
best.
I lost a lot of respect for him with the whole
like
Home Alone 2 shit.
Didn't he get like? Didn't he get like a?
You literally lost respect over Home Alone 2.
Didn't he get a foot job?
Could you imagine if I was being serious?
A foot job at his old job or something? Like when he was like a kid. Didn't know what? Dude, Dave Z had a story. Listen, Dave Z had a story on y'all's show that he got a foot job when he went to his job at his like parents' pizzeria or something.
Wow,
that sounds about.
I don't remember this at all,
dude. I swear.
Oh, he was probably sitting in. I remember that story. He's probably sitting down and like.
Yeah, he was sitting down. Yeah, dude.
Was it from like the New York Ripper?
Maybe I missed that story when I was trying to figure out why this fucking moron didn't know who Daniel Stern was. He's telling
actually.
I'm sorry, Dave. I'm just fucking. I'm breaking your balls. I'm breaking your balls, Dave.
That was the fake New York Ripper. That's not even the real one. That's like the red herring New York Ripper. What was that guy's name? That's that big.
That's that big goon.
What the? Yeah, I know, but the guy you saying who gives the foot job isn't New York Ripper. He's a red herring.
Dave's allowed to. Dave is allowed to say which movie's better in Home Alone because he was in both of them.
That's still one of the sleaziest parts I've ever seen in a movie. And I always tell people that too, man. It is nasty to me because you know how much I hate feet, right? Oh, it's just disgusting to me.
Me too.
You know what I'm going to make? I'm gonna make a movie that's a dedication to Fulci. I'm just gonna have this gross, dirty ass fucking big toe stab somebody's eyeball out. And just
Exactly.
I
would literally puke.
You got to make sure it has like a long splintery nail on it.
I would puke.
Oh yeah.
Feet in the
It's gonna
eye.
be
yellow
my God.
too.
It's gonna
Yellow
It's gonna
nail.
puncture the. Oh yeah.
Ingrown toenail.
Okay,
Ingrown
shut. Stop.
And
It's
or
gonna be like a
mouth.
spoon toe. There might not even be a nail on it.
I'm literally
It's
gagging.
fucking,
And they can have
it's gonna
corns on their
fucking.
feet.
It's gonna hit that eye like a goddamn fucking pudding. Like,
They can have
Drop
bunions. Dude, they could have bunions.
I'm actually gagging right now because I.
dude, it's actually gonna poke his eye out with a cord.
And you know what? You got to make
Yeah,
it
the
like
corn
real
toe.
slow.
Oh my
too,
God,
like
I need
where
a
it keeps
tissue. My
cutting
eyes are
back to
watering.
the toe.
You know when you
And the guy, he's gonna have
Dude,
the
do
Clockwork
it
Orange
shot
thing where
for
they keep his
shot,
eyes
bro.
open, where his eyes are
You got to
open.
do it shot for shot like the zombie eye scene, but fucking replace the wood splinter with a toe, bro.
Yeah,
Oh,
dude.
dude.
And
you
you'll
know
get
what I'm
close
gonna
up
do?
on the foot, and it'll have like the little toe knuckle hair.
Oh,
And I'm, it's gonna be like a close up like Ren and Stimpy when they do a weird close up, but it's even grosser.
yeah.
It's like a hair and a crumb.
You guys
And
have
then-
no
and like
idea.
a wart.
Like, dude,
How much I hate you right now.
bro. Like, wait,
And
it'll
then-
be like a still frame of it. Really
And then I'm gonna
close
put
up.
a little. I'm gonna put a little like Canadian hat on the guy whose eyes open, and a little American flag on the toe.
What the fuck?
Oh my god.
Okay, that was
I don't
disgusting.
see anything that's wrong with feet. I don't get it. I
That's
like 'em.
disgusting. No, gross.
Okay, Quentin Tarantino.
Oh,
Are we rating this bad puppy?
yeah. Let's start with your ass, since
My
you're so
ass.
eager to fucking rate Elves.
Elves is a 7, dog. What, man?
Okay,
It's
at
a
this
7.
point, I would rather take the toe in the fucking eye. Ugh. Then have myself believe that you just gave this shit a 7.
I've always given it a 7.
All right, that's awesome. Pretty. Okay, Mikey, what do you give it?
Man, I enjoyed this one. Man. I thought it was a lot of fun. I thought the elf looked like a mixture of the things from The Gate and Troll 2. Like just a mixture
That's
of
right.
those. Yeah, and then I loved the mom being a bitch. I loved how she killed the cat. It was just so funny. The brother was hilarious. The grandpa slapping the girl was the best part of the entire movie. But
Doesn't the movie start like that? Like it's
Yeah,
like 2
like-
minutes of the movie and he like slaps the shit out of her?
he just rolls in and just 2 slaps, same
Yeah, man.
hand, pop, pop, and then he says he's sorry. It's really funny. I'm gonna give it a 6. I think it's a 6, a fair 6.
All right, Mr. Parker.
It used to be a 6.5, but I got to give it a 7. I know I've watched this movie a lot. I have it as 7 on Letterboxd. I watched this movie like 6 times. It's a bad movie. If somebody's like, objectively, it's a classic. I'm like, it's bad. Some of it I think's
it's
on purpose,
bad.
which makes me laugh. It's a good bad movie. It's like Maximum Overdrive.
Yeah.
Okay, it's not like Maximum.
That movie is so much
It's not
more
as cool.
entertaining.
You're right. But my Maximum Overdrive is
But
probably like a
Maximum
9.
Overdrive gets so boring too in the middle.
No,
I-
it
No,
doesn't.
I would give it like a 9. I love that movie, but Elves. I almost called it Troll 2. Elves is much more poorly made than Maximum Overdrive, even if it doesn't. They make equal sense. They're both fucking complete bullshit, but one has fucking more gore and better acting, and that is Maximum Overdrive.
You
But
know,
I like this movie. It's crap, but it's enjoyable.
It's enjoyable crap.
When we end up watching and reviewing this, probably somewhere down the future for some other weird show about elves or something.
For 89?
Yeah, for
Gonna
89.
make
When we
JP's
do
top 10.
the top 10, 89.
Yeah, we're
show,
at least
of
watching
course.
it one more time.
At least one more time. Fuck. So we'll end up talking about, who knows, my shit might go up. But man, dude, I was bored out of my fucking shitter watching this thing again, man. I'm like, oh my God. It's totally why I haven't had any interest to watch this in like 15 years. I swear.
It needs a disc release, man. It really does. I think it would look a lot better.
It's funny.
I
too.
want to see that. I want to see those cancer pods forming on Dan Haggerty while I want.
Oh my
Jesus.
god, bro!
Well,
That's dark.
To be honest, like this time, the last time I watched it, the transfer I watched, it was really bad. Like it was tracking and it was like really bad. But this time, the upload or whatever was really good. It was actually nice and clear.
Did you
and
watch
stuff.
it on YouTube?
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a couple decent. I think the bootleg I have is the exact same transfer that's on YouTube.
Yeah, like it was probably maybe I'm assuming maybe the best quality I've ever seen it on, which is still VHS quality, but it was good VHS quality. So
yeah,
but I'm gonna come in at a 5. I don't think it's the worst thing ever. I just honestly, man, I just think there's so much better of a film here, then there's such a good idea here. And
Probably.
I mean, I guess it
wrong.
depends. I guess it depends what you think of what a good idea is, but I like the whole hybrid thing and the whole there's a lot of things. And the elf actually looks cool. He looks evil and nasty. And he knows how to handle a fucking piece. That's a plus. So
Dave Z would hate this shit.
Oh fuck, he wouldn't find. And it's funny. I laugh at everything, and I laughed at some parts of the film. Definitely.
Dave Z would have a 45-minute rant about why he didn't watch it. He's like, Elves? I don't want to watch Elves. Elves is
See,
stupid.
me
Look
and
at
my
the
friends,
Elves.
if we saw that in the video store, we would be making fun of it. We never even think about renting that.
But he might like it too. It's hard. If it's so stupid, he might enjoy it. It's hard to
I
tell.
don't know. Yeah, probably not, but
Not this one.
Right. All right. So that is Elves from 1989.
Padre, quiero confesarme. Dime lo que has hecho, hijo. Nada, padre. No he pecado, pero voy a pecar. Voy a hacer todo el mal que pueda.
All right, so getting into the second feature here on episode 233, we're going to take it to the 90s, specifically 1995, with a Spanish film called The Day of the Beast. I think last week I accidentally slipped up and said Day of the Dead. Quite obviously, I was insane at that moment. Yeah. So, what's your guys' history with Day of the Beast? First time watch? No. First time watch?
Yeah, I've never seen
it a few times. Quite enjoy it. Alex de la Iglesia made my top 50 favorite directors.
Yeah, this is like the fourth or fifth time I've watched it in the last probably 3 or 4 years, because I'd imported that Spanish Blu-ray, and then of course I got that fancy 4K from Vinegar Syndrome. So yeah, it's been, and it's actually a movie I hadn't seen until 5 or 6. I think when I first talked about it, maybe 5 years ago, 6 years ago, something like that. So it was.
I can't remember when I saw this.
Relatively newer to me. I think it was probably just one of those cases where I knew about, but it was like really hard to see. Probably.
It wasn't easy to find.
No, it was a Spanish, so it was subtitled and stuff. So, but yeah, quick little synopsis.
The VHS didn't get widely released here. I think it might have been an English dub too, if I'm not mistaken.
It could have been. I've never seen that. I honestly, I don't ever remember renting this, or I've never seen it with a dub.
I never saw it in the store. I never saw it in the rental store.
Yeah,
I seen the cover. The VHS cover is awesome.
Yeah, the Devil Shadow, whatever
it's got like the hand down below, and it's like a beast, and he's like a priest dressed like a priest. You only see his hand. I think he's holding rosaries, if I'm not mistaken.
Oh, that one. Okay, yeah,
that's the one I remember seeing around when I was a kid. I didn't see it in the stores, but looking it up when you're like 10, 13.
Yeah. Cool. Okay, so yeah, Day of the Beast from 1995. Yes, into the 90s. All right, so bent on committing as many sins as possible to avert the birth of the beast, a Catholic priest teams up with a black metal aficionado, an Italian connoisseur of the occult. Now we must become an unrelenting sinner. Is there still hope? Holy fuck, I couldn't say that fucking word. Jeez. Yeah,
dude, this movie was a blast.
So it's got a pretty interesting
great
premise.
movie.
Yeah, it is, man. And, and this is one of those films too, like, a lot of times when you watch foreign films, sometimes the translation doesn't hit as strong as it probably would if you were like, from Spain or something like that, and understanding the language when it comes to comedy. But I feel like everything here is done in a way that it's really easy to relate to, because it's like religious based and things like that. And it's really easy to follow. But I think, the comedy it works. At least for me, it does. So
I'm going to have to watch this again, because I did the worst thing in Mood's eyes.
Oh, you watched the dub.
Yes, I did.
I didn't even know there was a dub.
Listen. The reason I did was because I was able to come to the show very late, and I just didn't have time to watch them. And so I had to speed it up on YouTube to watch it.
Oh, shit.
And I was literally having to take care of my girlfriend who has COVID right now. So I just put it on the English dub, and I finished watching it 20 minutes before we started recording. So
wow, you and JP came really prepared today. Okay. So your thoughts on it, Mikey? What'd you think of it?
Hold on, I got French fries in my mouth.
Classic.
Dude, this movie freaking rules, man. This was so much fun. I feel like you could throw this on like a double feature with like Cemetery Man. I think it would work.
that's a very odd double feature, but I
I
don't
think
see
it
why
would
I
work.
couldn't.
No, I see it. I see it too. It's got a weird comedic, dark tone to it that is very foreign and not very American. But
I'm not saying they're the same
clever.
type of movie, but and they're also kind of like there's like a whole buddy thing going on throughout it.
Yeah,
kind of like,
and they get better.
Yeah, exactly.
The more you watch them, they both get better. The more you watch them, you see things you didn't see.
Right, and I mean, the atmosphere isn't the same as in Cemetery Man, but it does have like really cool atmosphere. I like the colors in this movie. I like a lot of the camera work. Whenever they get in the fight, and she like hits him through the window, and he's like hanging out the window. That scene was freaking sick. Like things like that, I just really enjoy.
Camera work's top notch.
Yeah, it was
like
great.
when they're on
Fight
sign,
choreographs are great too. He's very good at fight choreographing, especially when the old woman's beating him down the stairs. That's just fucking awesome,
dude.
Yeah, dude, that scene's brutal, man. Like, man, that you actually feel the pain in that shit. And like,
this
actually,
dude's a very good director. He's excellent. Like the way he frames everything, the way he shoots everything. It's just all the stuff he does. This dude's probably a genius, I think, in real life. Just he's very, very clever.
Right.
I've never seen any of his movies.
Oh, Perito Durango, The Last Circus, Perito Durango.
Oh, The Last Circus,
Action Mutante. Yeah, he's in a bunch of movies.
Yeah, no, I haven't
Witchin'
seen-
and Bitchin'.
I haven't
They're all
seen
great.
any of
Perito
his
Durango,
movies.
I actually just that was my first time watch, was like in the last couple of years or whatever, and that movie
10 out of 10.
And Witchin' Bitchin', I praised that one when it came out too. I really enjoyed that one. Yeah. And
what was the new one they released from Severin?
He had two movies from Action Mutante, which is not it got postponed. That's the only one I haven't seen by his
first film.
I actually don't know that one, so
yeah, because I picked up
one,
the Durango one, and then this
Perito
one.
Durango. Yeah, it's a great movie. AKA that's amazing. Javier Bardem.
It's really good.
Yeah, and Last Circus is great too. Last Circus is totally underrated.
Was really good. That's the only one I ever saw.
The Last Circus is another one I praised over the years too. It's such a good movie.
Yeah, I think I've liked all his movies I've seen. Did you guys notice the correlation between The Last Circus, or the basically the things he has in here with heights and Day of the Beast?
Oh yeah,
he puts
I
two of the
that.
scariest height scenes ever, dude. He's supposed to be scared of heights, dude. Fucking give me a panic attack on both.
Dude, you think so? Like, I can't even like every time they're doing like establishing shots in movies, I get like butterflies and shit. But when you're hanging up a Schweppes a Schweppes drink sign, I'm like, oh,
I love that. That was so cool.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, that was super sick.
I also just something about the city and like where this takes place in Madrid or whatever. I just like the vibe of it. I don't know if it was like the 90s factoring in too, but like just something about this place felt cool.
Yeah, it's the characters too, though, man. Like the priest is like, he's super likable because he's just so hell bent on, just accomplishing his goal and
sincere. He's so sincere.
But that's the thing. Like,
he's so naive and sincere.
He's so naive, and that's what I like about him. You took my word with him. He's super naive in the fact that like. I just like the scene where he goes into the record shop and he's like, I'm looking for this message.
Dude.
And I love that whole
I'm not going to pay for it. And he's like, that's fine.
He's a total fish out of water,
Yeah, man.
I love that scene when he goes into the record store. It was so good. And he's like playing the music. And since I was watching it sped up, the guy's like air drumming in the background. And it was the funniest thing in the world.
Dude, the conversation with the heavy metal dude's so funny when he was like, when he discovers the occult guy on TV and they're kind of watching. He's like, I need that guy. And then they're talking on TV. He's like, no, that's the first time I've ever seen a TV program before. He's like, what?
Yeah.
What the fuck? He's like, that's how naive. He's like, I need that guy.
The three guys bounce off each other brilliantly. They're all great. They're all hilarious. And it just, the movie's so smart in the fact that it could be all bullshit. But there's a couple scenes that make you think it could have happened. They're all hallucinating when they see the goat and the cross in the very beginning. So it's like, dude, is it real? And the way they play in with the horrible old people, like the rich people beating the homeless people, I think it's probably delusional, all of it. But there's the way you can read it. It's pretty clever.
Well, that's how it plays. That's how it plays out. Like, that's so interesting because throughout the whole movie, you're almost getting like this super like right-winged kind of like propaganda gang that's going around and they're spreading like, clean up Madrid and they're beating the shit out of homeless and they're burning them and stuff. And it's playing through the whole film. You don't really know why the fuck this is even being shown because it doesn't really have anything to do with what you think has anything to do with their narrative, right? We're seeing this from this kind of perspective, but then when you think about it, are they high as shit? Because look what happens in the end when like what you see with like the fucking beast and shit like that, right? Like who he turns out to be. It's crazy.
Yeah.
It's really interesting how they do this, because then you think back, and that's why this movie's one of those movies where if you do watch multiple times, and every time I watch this movie, I always notice other things I didn't notice before too, which is totally true about this thing. And it's kind of like Cemetery. That's a great comparison with Cemetery, man, because it's one of those films like you could never watch that movie and pick out everything. In fact, I've seen that movie 100 times and I probably still notice things, right?
Yeah.
But if you watch it from the perspective of them not being affected by the acid that they are on, it's a totally different outcome. But I think if you watch it from the perspective of them, because you kind of do actually forget at times where they do hallucinate, but there's still a second half of the movie, right? And they've still got to be on that shit kind of thing. So it's the same night. So it's very interesting to look at it from those perspectives and also decipher, what is real and what's not. And I mean, because obviously, the Bible and the book of Revelation and, the apocalypse and the book of Revelation. And I think that's in the Old Testament, right? Yeah. Because it was like all the violent one and shit like that. And I mean, that shit exists, right? And there is a code. There's to decipher that code, like all this shit, apparently exists, within this mythology of religion and stuff like that, whatever you want to do. But it's a really interesting movie to kind of break down and look at it from different perspectives. So I think there's really no specific way to really attack this one, because there's multiple ways to.
And you know what also I'll say about Alex de la Iglesias films? Like a Romero or a Carpenter, they get better with age, the whole idea, and they're relevant today, especially when you look at the gang going around burning the homeless people.
Yeah.
Dude, that shit happens. Stuff like that happens all the fucking time. Like, it just never, it just touches on things that never really end. The mental illness, possibly crazy people, but you don't know. And then it's just really smart. And the way it is, like, this movie, if it weren't for the technology, it would play today the same way. Like,
right.
You know what I mean? Like,
right.
It doesn't date. It's not a dated movie.
No, it really isn't, man. I love the look of, I think JP brought it up, but the actual look of like Madrid and stuff, like it looks awesome. They capture a lot in that city and stuff. It's just really shot well and stuff. But it's the characters for me in this movie that does it, man. Like Jose Maria, he is so fucking funny in this movie without even, it's more subtle. Like the scene where they don't really break him, but they go through the window and stuff. Like he doesn't have to punch that guy's lights out, but he does anyways and just keeps going.
I love that shit.
He does this multiple times in the movie where he's just like, he's on a fucking mission. He's on a mission with the priest and stuff. And he's like, well, I'm joining in. I'm going to punch this guy's lights out and do this and that. But it's fucking hilarious.
Or when he's carving in the floor, he's like, you didn't have to carve in my floor. He's like, well, it said so in the book.
Yeah.
I wrote it. It's bullshit. Well, you shouldn't have wrote it.
And then he brings that up later too. He's like, yeah, it's on the, when I carved it in and I fucked up his floor.
He's like, tell him I'm the guy that fucked up his floor. That's what he tells him.
That's right. It's so good.
And I love that they find this fucking magician and they completely ruin him. Like at first he's like, this is bullshit. Then he like sees the goat and then he's like obsessed with it, just ruins his entire fucking life. And they straight Fright Night to him. They have like a shitty version of him at the end, remember? Yeah. Like ripping him like how they did with Roddy McDowell in Fright Night too.
Right.
They replaced his ass.
It's so good, yeah. Yeah, but they have like such a great conversation at the end. They're like sitting on the park bench, and then they're both kind of like, but like what we did, we like fucking saved the world, but like nobody knows. You have that revelation. You're like,
and he's all burnt.
Yeah, he's all fucking burnt, and he's been replaced, and his whole life sucks now, even though he did such a good thing, but his life is shit now. I love funny, that. Dude. It's so funny when you put that in perspective. Like, man. Come on.
We can't forget about the beginning scene when the priest gets just wrecked by the cross.
Oh, dude. In a sense,
so
like,
hard.
I could see people like watching this movie and seeing that part and being taken right out because like, oh fuck, this is gonna be super goofy and shit. But it's funny because it's done kind of like horrific, but at the same time you can't help but belly laugh because it's just so out of left field.
Especially how he turns and looks at him and like he's like
yeah, it's like out of left field too. Like you totally don't see that coming because why would you?
And you can interpret that in the beginning too. You can interpret it as he gonna like go tell somebody else that this guy's crazy, or is he gonna be like, let's go?
Right.
You never know. Like and like the right away when he goes out to commit all the sin, it's so wonderful. He like stops and gives that guy his last rites, and he instead of giving his last rites, he steals his wallet and says, "You're gonna rot in hell." Yeah. The part when he walks by and he just does fuck that one shot.
Starts
brilliant.
Stealing the people's money and stuff. Like
and when he keys the cars is fucking awesome, just for the hell of it.
The funniest thing to me, man, and like the very first time I watched this movie, I was a little bit disappointed with the priest's acts of committing sins and stuff. By the end of the movie, I was like, man, this movie was really good, but I was like, I really wanted more, of him committing sin and stuff. And then I realized after multiple watches that he's so fucking naive in what he's doing. He doesn't even really know how to do bad deeds. So his bad deeds are like so minor. Like,
yeah, they're little.
They're like little things that he thinks are big because he's never done anything like this before, right? I love that. I love that about this movie. So cool. I don't know if that makes sense to anybody.
No, yeah, he does him so naive, it's hilarious. He'll be like, "Oh, can I steal?" When he explains to the dude, he's like, "I needed the book, but I couldn't pay for it. You have no money." No, I just had to steal it. And then I love how that guy's getting all into it. He's like, "Okay," and he starts listening. He's like, "I'm busy right now." That's the guy. He's witching and bitching. He's one of the guys.
When all he had to do was he just had to read his book and eat shellfish, and he would have gone to hell,
right?
Or mixed fabrics or something. That's all he had to do, right?
Right. Oh man, what's with the fucking is it fucking the heavy metal dudes? Is it his dad or his grandpa?
It's his grandpa.
It's his grandpa.
That's actually a homeless guy they found off the street for real.
Really?
For real with his dick out?
The guy with his dick out? Yeah.
That's just some homeless guy they found. Yeah.
Are you serious?
Yeah, because that's such a random thing to throw in the movie because he's literally just like buck from the bottom down. Like it's hilarious.
It's so funny. And the guy's just like, yeah, that's just what he does.
Nobody even cares.
Oh man, it's so random. I don't know, man. It's just like it's subtle comedy that's like not subtle at all. I don't know. It's just funny to me, man. It's just
everyone plays it subtly. No one acts over the top in the weirdest situation. Nobody even acknowledges that he's buck ass naked. He's like fucking 70.
Because there's that scene with Rosario where she's sitting there watching TV and the grandpa's just sitting in the chair with his dink hanging out, and she's just like watching the TV so intensely and shit. It's hilarious. Yeah. It's pretty awesome.
It's great.
Yeah.
I also really enjoyed the at the end, the creature at the end with the head. It was super sick how it just looked really good. The goat head.
Right.
Yeah. That was super sick.
I still think like the blood acid concoction is like the fucking grossest thing ever. I there's no way. There's just no fucking way I'm doing that shit, man.
Ugh.
No. I mean, acid scares me in general. Well, because honestly, man, the drug acid, it just kind of frightens me, man. I almost seen someone kill themselves on it when I was in high school. I had a bad trip, and it was like bad, dude. He like grabbed a shotgun and shit and was like trying to kill him. It was crazy.
Jesus.
So I never once ever even thought about it. I was like, no fucking way I'm going to put myself in that position for something bad to happen. So like watching this movie where they're like mixing fucking acid with like fucking virgin blood. I'm like, oh, God.
All right, Moodz. It's either that or you lick a foot.
Oh, fuck. Oh, dude, you could. I no.
Which one?
I would rather put myself up on that Schweppes sign.
Or you had to do both.
And I am like crazy, deathly afraid of heights. So if I had to pick one, oh man, I don't know. I guess I'd do the acid and blood because
okay, look,
if I could lock myself in my own room.
It could be JP's foot. Okay.
Oh my God, no, dude. He's probably got some nasty funguses and you probably remnants of Taco Bell on there and shit.
No.
How would he get Taco Bell on his feet?
I don't know, because JP's lazy. He probably didn't want to use his hands. He used his fucking feet to eat his tacos or some shit, man.
That seems pretty hard, bro.
That seems like
that's not lazy at all.
No, it's not that it's not lazy. It's just,
I stick my feet in Carly's face all the time. They're not even that bad, bro.
That's funny.
Feet are fucking gross.
They are.
That's
why I do it. It's funny to me.
I never. Feet are just fine. I don't care about feet. I'm just like,
feet
whatever.
don't bother me at all.
Dude, you guys.
I'm not. I'm not pro or anti feet. I'm like, that's just a foot.
Foot fetishes.
Because
no, I don't care about feet.
Yeah, you do. Because that's anybody who says I don't have a problem with feet. It's like them trying to just like they know they have a foot fetish, but they're just trying to be like, oh, you know.
I don't have a foot fetish, but I don't care. Like if I had one, I'd tell you. It's the most harmless fetish in the world.
Yeah, that doesn't bother me either. I would totally tell you.
If you think I have a foot fetish, I'm fine. I don't care.
Well, I think it.
I mean, I've kissed a foot.
Can we literally do one review without talking about fucking
out
feet?
Right now.
Like, oh my God.
Ugh. Listen, just try
it.
No.
Put them in your mouth and suck them.
Dude, come on.
Just
feet,
put them in.
Come on, feet. Come on, feet.
This is ridiculous.
You know, it's kind of like this movie, man. Like the more I watch it, man,
you guys are a couple steps behind us. Let's get together.
Like what movie? The Day of the Feet.
Day of the Feet. Yeah, man. Feet? It's got a lot of physical comedy in it, which I generally am not like the hugest fan of. But it's done a little bit more graceful here. It's a little bit funny. I like when the fucking mom fucking.
It kind of reminds me of
your feet.
JP.
Sorry, hold on.
Yeah, where the fuck did he go? He started to talk and then muted and then didn't say anything to us. He's like, "Hey, maybe they'll just fill in the gaps."
Oh my god, I'm getting annoyed.
What happened?
Just fucking not able to record because like I'm never mind. What was I saying? I don't even fucking know, bro.
Take your fucking foot out of your mouth.
Oh, you know what? It kind of almost like the humor, not quite exactly, but like a hint of like the New Zealand style, I feel almost.
Yeah, a little bit.
Yeah, it's like it's goofy without being like over the top, goofy, stupid, silly. You know what I mean?
When she's falling down the stairs and just keeps hitting every beam, like stuff like that was very like.
Yeah, I like the way she ends up. She's literally hanging.
Yeah,
her fucking feet. Like, man, he takes a punishment. But I like when she elbows her fucking the heavy metal, her son. That shit's funny as hell to me, man.
Oh, and then when he explains that he killed his mom, and he was like, "Well, she's kind of a bitch anyway."
Right. Yeah. No, this movie's fucking entertaining as hell, man. It's good.
I loved it, man. I thought it was great.
Yeah. I don't know without this one's hard to like without. I feel like there's still probably shouldn't ruin the entire thing.
Yeah.
Because I still think that a lot of people haven't seen this one, which, you know, you could go into your own kind of theories and ideas of, you know, the ending of the film, which, you know, like I said, it just depends on which way you look at it, right?
Yeah.
But, you know, I mean.
Did you know that the Padre died in a car accident?
Oh, really?
Oh, did he?
Yeah. That's what I saw on IMDb. Yep.
That's sad.
That sucks, man. Yeah.
Because he's pretty old.
In 2014.
Oh,
he was 60. He was 61.
Oh, fuck, he wasn't even that old. 61.
Yeah.
61 in 2014?
Not that old.
What? He was like, what? He was like 41 in this movie?
Yeah.
It's like 20 years later. Or 40.
Yeah, he looked pretty old in this movie.
Dude, he was baller than me.
Yeah.
It's crazy, man. He just looked way up. Wow, crazy. Interesting.
Car accident. Yep.
That's sad.
Whose turn is it?
Well, you went first, Mikey's. Yeah, we'll do some ratings on it.
Cool. Yeah. No, I enjoyed it, man. I thought it was funny. Like I said, I think it would make a good double feature with Cemetery, man. I think there's a lot there, especially with the comedy and the horror. And I think I really enjoyed it, man. I really liked what's his name, Jose, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought he was hilarious. I liked all the metal stuff about it. Like just having him, I think whatever he showed in the note, I think it said like Iron Maiden. I think it said like Napalm Death on it, maybe in a different language. I can't remember. But either way, I enjoyed it. I give this one a 8.5.
Parker.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of the movie, and I'm thinking of 95, and it's got to be one of the best of 95, along with like Demon Knight and Lord of Illusions, Demon Knight. Those Tales from the Hood. Those are like the top. Man, this
95 is not a bad 90s year.
I mean, it's got four really good movies in there, and
it's not as good as 97, but you know, it's whatever.
7's there too. 97 is one of the worst years.
It actually is one of the worst years.
Yeah, no, it sucks.
I'm torn. I don't see anything wrong with this movie. I'm going to give it a 9.5. I can't give it a 10, but there's nothing wrong with this movie to me. I think it's great. I think it might be his best movie. I think Perdido Durango I like a little bit more, but I think this is a great film. 9.5. I love it.
Yeah, everything I've seen from De La Iglesia has been really top notch, man. This guy, great underrated director. You know, when we were doing our directors list, I didn't even really think of him, to be honest. But
I miss some people.
Yeah, Parade of Durango. I hadn't seen that yet, but man, I was blown away. I think I even mentioned it right after I watched it too. I was like, shit, man, this shit just blew my shitter out. It was good, man. It's really good. But yeah, I'm in at also a 9.5 out of 10 on Day of the Beast. probably one of the legit best 90s horror films out there, I'd have to say.
Yeah, and it came out the same year as Howling 7.
What a
fucking seen Howling 7.
Okay, yeah. No, you know what's funny about this movie is like I seen the poster. I knew it was like a Spanish film. They showed it on Joe Bob 2 years ago, I think, and I watched like literally like 5 minutes of it at work. But I always pictured this as like a fucking Bigfoot movie for some reason, like set on Christmas. And was I fucking wrong. But no, yeah, this is a really good movie. It's I'm very curious to check out this guy's other work. Like I said, I have Durango or whatever the hell it's called.
Did you never watch Witching and Bitching?
I never watched Witching and Bitching, actually.
I can't remember what year. Do you remember, Dave?
2013.
It was like 2013.
I just the Blu-ray just got re-released last year, I think.
I'd have to go and look on our list, but I swear it made my top 10. I swear. And if it didn't, it must have been in the runnings for it or something, because I love that movie from that year. It was it's just very unique. I
remember it coming out because we talked about it on the show, like when it was announced, because we were like witching and bitching.
Yeah. Right.
But yeah, so I'm coming in at a 8 on this one. First time watch, pretty solid flick.
Cool. Yeah, I feel like this one got better with time for me. All the watches I did with this one and stuff, and I mean, it's not like it wasn't great the first time I watched it. I just started to notice things and see things in a different way. It's cool. All right, so that is Day of the Beast from 1995.
22 shots.
All right, so getting into the third and final film here on the Christmas show, and it is a brand new one from the man Joe Begos, titled Christmas Bloody Christmas. Yeah, man, I am a big fan of Joe. How do you actually say? Is it Begos or is it Begos?
I think it's Bagos.
I think it's Begos.
I say
Begos.
I think it would be Begos, right? Based on how it's spelled, Begos, Begos. I don't know. Yeah, he's actually been one of my favorite modern directors. I would say probably since 13, man. He did, Almost Human. Then he did The Mind's Eye, Bliss, VFW. All those movies were hits for me. Fucking love Bliss.
Almost Human was great.
Yeah.
I think Bliss is his best, followed by VFW.
Yeah, those two are definitely at the top for myself. I really liked The Mind's Eye. A lot of people didn't really care for it. I thought it was actually
Mind's Eye's great.
I just think it was like it's just a fun version of Scanners. It's like I don't know. But anyways, Joe Begos' new film with not really the greatest title in the world. Christmas Bloody Christmas is kind of redundant a little bit, but anyways, synopsis. It's Christmas time, or it's Christmas Eve, and Tori just wants to get drunk and party. But when a robotic Santa Claus at a nearby toy store goes haywire and begins a rampant killing spree through her small town, she is forced into a battle for survival. All right. That's pretty accurate. Thoughts on Christmas Bloody Christmas?
I think the title Christmas Bloody Christmas, does that come from like Sunday Bloody Sunday? Is that like the play on that?
Maybe.
I mean, At this point, there's been so many Christmas movies with, just the way they've been worded, like Silent Night, Bloody Night, and Silent Night, Deadly Night. Like, there's so many movies with similar titles and shit. I mean, I'm surprised Christmas Bloody Christmas was never taken, to be honest.
Yeah. I mean, they're all taken. So what? You're not going to get a good Christmas title now. But I'm surprised Better Watch Out wasn't really taken.
Right.
It kind of was, but it wasn't.
Yeah, Christmas Evil's alternate title is Better Watch Out. Yeah. But whatever. I mean, I'll start with Christmas Bloody Christmas, man. To be honest, I fucking love this movie. This is everything that I love in movies. I know I've heard nothing but people complaining about this. I don't give a fuck.
I don't get the complaints.
And I'll tell you why I love this movie. Because it has everything I love about movies, man. First of all, it's got a fucking great soundtrack. It looks fucking awesome on the 60 millimeter. I love the aesthetic of it. It's got this neon fucking dark look to it. It's very Christmassy.
It might be the most Christmassy looking movie I've ever seen.
it's got a pacing that I really enjoy, and I'll explain that because I personally fucking love dialogue that's in this movie. And I will say she's got the filthiest mouth of 2022. She says fuck a lot.
Dave said the exact thing though, bro.
It doesn't. It doesn't.
When you're out at a bar and stuff, that's how people.
Yeah, when you're at a bar, that's when you talk. Dude, you
Exactly.
you're cussing. You're fucking around, man.
Right,
You're
so
fucking having fun.
The juvenile, but did y'all didn't get tired of the juvenile dialogue a little bit?
No,
you know what, man?
not at all.
You know what, man? This
I know too many
conversation.
people like these people, so I can't say it was.
Yeah, they're
fake.
me.
You know what?
But no,
that
dude.
chick and that guy are me and my friends because where we grew up, everyone talks like a trucker or works in a mill, so everyone says fuck after everything. Everyone drinks and parties.
The big difference is with alcohol, right?
This is
like,
us.
Yeah, people don't know how we're all that obnoxious when we're drunk, but we think we're awesome. But then when you're like, if you were to see yourself videotape drunk, you ever go into a bar sober and you hate everyone? You go into that same bar drunk, it's great.
Yeah.
But
I've
getting
never-
back to the
I've never
dialogue,
been drunk
besides
before.
the excessive cursing and stuff, I thought, which is
That's
fine.
a true story.
It's the actual dialogue. I love the music talk.
what they're talking about.
Because it's relatable.
Dude,
I love the movie talk.
I did
And
not love it.
You know what? You know what I noticed in the record store? I don't know if you guys noticed this, but I noticed, you know how they released Vinegar Syndrome released the New York Ninja, like the film print for it? Like you can get it on the the little film print. You didn't pick that up, Dave, did you?
No.
Yeah, so they're limited edition film. There was one of those sitting on one of the racks in there, and I was like, "Oh, that's a fucking cool."
I think
thing.
there was also some Vinegar Syndrome Blu-rays.
Oh, there probably was, definitely. If they had that in there
big
for
time
sure.
everywhere.
But anyways, the whole conversation, like she's just, let's go fucking party. We're talking about music, and we're talking about this Christmas song and that song and movies, and that's literally me with my friends. This is what we do. We swear a lot. We talk. We drink. And I was just like, fuck. I was loving this shit, man. And then the kills started. And then everything got super fucking bloody, insane. There was a great kill on a kid. You know, like the fucking dude gets everything was awesome, man. I enjoyed this. The only thing for myself that I wasn't in love with was maybe the ending. I thought that, you know, the water was a little bit kind of, you know, it went on a little bit too long. I think that, you know, probably could have wrapped itself up.
It went full-blown Terminator.
It did. And I think it just went on a little bit too long. But the other thing that I will say, man, like Bigos, he really did knock it out the park with the cast in this. Like Graham Skipper shows up for a minute before he gets fucking
Love Graham
killed.
Skipper.
You know, Jeff
I
Daniel
actually
Phillips.
love the lead too.
I love him.
We know who steals the show. Jeremy Gardner, right?
Jeremy Gardner
dude,
is
yes.
the funniest shit in this movie. He's so fucking over the top.
Oh, it's
He's so
fucking Santa
believable.
Claus.
He's so believable, man. Like he's just so pissed off, and he has a right to be pissed off, man. His fucking partner just got fucking got. And dude, I love this movie. I had so much fun with it. I finished watching it and I was like, why in the fuck is everybody complaining about this, man? This is like one of the most entertaining Christmas movies.
I feel like everyone was complaining right at the beginning, but now I see about more people liking it than complaining.
Well, yeah. Oh, okay.
Listen,
Well, I guess I really only heard Dave.
I want to hear what Mikey has to say.
Listen, I enjoyed this movie. The dialogue for me, it sounded like they wanted to go full-blown Quentin Tarantino, and it seemed like it just wasn't there for me. The stuff they were talking about, like the music they were talking about, it seemed like such a
surface level.
The surface level hipster, like I looked this up on the internet. This is what I'm gonna. It sounded like the actors didn't know the music they were talking about, and they probably didn't, and that's fine. But like that's just what I was getting from it.
The director did though.
The director definitely did, for sure, and
Yeah,
I have nothing against that. And they're just acting and they're just doing their part, and most of it sounded like they were probably improving, which is great. He probably like told him, "Hey, this is this. Make sure you hit these points," which is great. But for me, it was just
it is in the script. I heard him on some things, and he definitely said that the actress memorized and looked up in the script and watched Pet Sematary 2 and was like, "What the fuck are you making me watch?"
That's super sick.
So,
that's crazy.
Yeah.
That's cool. But I didn't know that. But yeah, no, I don't have a problem with it. It just I think it reminded me so much of some people that I know that are they just annoy me. I didn't dislike either one of the characters.
You said it yourself, though, dude. You've never like got drunk. That's a huge factor in your perception of.
And Joe Bigos hasn't got drunk. He's got drunk. Joe Bigos is probably drunk right now. Why not?
That's fair. That's fair.
Like I said,
fair. So maybe that's a good thing. What I'm saying is like maybe that is a good thing because maybe he was doing what he needed to do. Because me being annoyed is he was showing that, you know, these people can be obnoxious when they're like, you know,
it's what Dave said is 100% true, dude. Go to a bar and everyone and be sober.
If you're sober, everyone's annoying, but if you're drunk, it's great.
Fucking rights it is, man.
But when you're drunk, dude, it's exactly like,
yeah, I don't have a problem with them having like these like harsh opinions on certain things. It's very realistic in that sense, but like, I don't know. I just felt like,
I mean, they're clearly obnoxious, but in a drunk way, like a very realistic way to how people actually are when they're drinking.
Yeah.
No, that's probably it's realistic, man. Yeah. It really is.
I mean, I've been around. Hey, listen, I've been around plenty of drunk people. I mean, I play in like metal bands and stuff, so I'm around them all the time. But
and they probably annoy the shit out of you.
Sometimes. Not always. Not always. No, they're okay. It just depends on which ones. If they're hanging all over me, maybe. But like, I don't know. I enjoyed the characters. I actually enjoyed Robbie. Right?
Yeah, I like the two main characters.
Yeah, I liked them too. I thought they were great. I thought she did a great job. Yeah.
Yeah.
But some of the dialogue, I didn't care for.
The dialogue doesn't bother me much, but I'm also a guy who doesn't give a fuck when people complain about the Rob Zombie dialogue. I just don't give a shit. I'm just like,
yeah, that's fair. I mean, that's totally fair. I just felt like you were supposed to really like this dialogue, if that makes sense.
No, I mean, I think it depends on who
it's
you
Joe
are,
Bigos.
Because me personally, I spend the majority of my life talking about music and movies. So everything they were talking about was so relatable to me, and the way they were talking and the way they were drinking, they were me on screen. So
I also just don't like leather jackets that much.
I also love like to me it felt like okay, maybe these are all like Bigos's like feelings or opinions or stuff he's heard, you know, because sometimes you just put in stuff you've heard other people say.
Yeah, that's fair.
Like, even the fact that they mentioned Blair Witch 2, like, I'm like,
yeah, that was pretty cool.
I love Blair Witch.
See, I did like that part.
Book of Shadows, yeah, and that was the thing. Like, we've had the conversation before about Pet Sematary 1 and 2 well, we've done a show before, but the funny thing about Pet Sematary 2, them praising Pet Sematary 2 in the film, is the fact that like way back in the day, I used to be a fan of that, and JP wasn't a fan of the movie, and then
I liked it. I just thought it was. I just didn't think it was as good as you did.
And then years later, it was the polar opposite. Like I still like the first one, but I really don't like the second movie at all. I find it actually truly annoying, to be honest, but and JP really likes it. So I mean, those things, but so that conversation in the film just brought me back to like our conversations about it and us fighting about it and stuff, and I was like, oh, this is exactly us. This is ridiculous.
No, yeah, it really did remind, like, that's the first thing I thought of when they were talking
like them praising Tracy Lords for her musical talents and stuff, and I was like, these are conversations I fucking had at one time or another in some bar or fucking drinking or whatever. I've had these conversations, man. It's like ridiculously awesome.
I did, however,
I can see someone getting
go
annoyed by it because they feel like it's placating to the audience too much. But I think that Joe Bigos is just 100%. That's him. Like, that's how Bliss, he said he made that character based after him. He's like, I just made a female version of myself. And like it or not, man, that's just maybe a little bit too honest for some people. I mean, everybody likes to think of themselves as a likable person and how they would translate to screen, but maybe they wouldn't. And you know what? A lot of his characters, people hate. I've never had a problem with any of his characters. I've always just been like, hey, they're either there or I like them. No real negativity towards them.
You know what? I can explain this away a little bit, because I mean, if you put this conversation in a different location, remember where they're working, where they're coming from. They're coming from a place where all they do all day is talk about music and fucking movies and shit. Why is that conversation going to be
it's
any
like
different?
Clerks or something,
right? Why is that conversation going to be any different? See, now if they're at a fucking public library and they're having that conversation, I can see where people would be like, okay, why is this conversation happening in a public library now? They should be talking about fucking, you know, where the occult section is in 666. And fucking, you know what I mean, though? But because this is what they do. This is how they talk. These are these people. So you put them in the right location and situation, the conversation makes complete fucking sense. I don't know how anybody could argue against that. It's just, it is what it is. Right.
No, so that's fair. I have no problem with the conversation itself. I just think that it sounded like, to me, it sounded like it was coming across like, oh, I want to do like a Clerks thing. I want to do like a Quentin Tarantino scene. And I guess that it wasn't as engaging to me.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
that's fine. That's
there
totally
was like
fine.
a million things that went off, and like some of them I could connect with, some of them I couldn't, but that's obviously just me. Like anyone else could, you know what I mean?
There's the things that I love, man. Like I always, you know, obviously when you're you have a location like, music or movie store, whatever.
Yeah,
it is.
I mean, he can't
I'm always
account
looking
for
for
everybody,
shit.
right?
There's so many cool posters in this movie too. Like there's that really awesome neon like Necronomicon type poster that's up there and shit. There's that Killer's Delight poster that's pretty awesome. But I love her shirt. She's wearing a red death shirt. Like I literally have the black shirt with the silver death writing.
Yeah.
I love Death. It's actually one of my favorite bands.
I have that in my notes. I was going to bring that up. I loved that she was wearing
and
a Death
I
shirt.
don't think I'd ever
sick.
seen a red version of a Death shirt like that. I've always seen like the classic black with the silver writing and shit like that, right? And I was like, that's really fucking awesome, man. I love the shirt. Fitter.
Yeah, Death freaking rules.
And it seemed like, dude...
JP, I know you'd love Death, bro.
Yeah, it seems like that dude ate some mean pussy too, man. He had her going. I love it, man.
I mean, with the haircut like that, if he didn't, what's he good for, right?
Right, man. Dude, when the kills started happening, man, I was like, oh shit, these are awesome. It was just so violent, and like when dude goes down, like when he takes that axe in the face, I was like, oh shit.
Oh, that dude, I was not happy about it
because he was so likable. I was like, oh my god, really? I was like, damn, it just made it work so much better too, because you're like not really expecting him to die like that.
There was another thing that I wish had happened a little different, and I don't want to spoil anything, but there was a character that you meet at the beginning. Towards the beginning at one of the bars.
Yeah.
And then you see him later, and it's like he kind of just gets off screen. And I was like, I thought there was going to be more to that character.
Yeah, I was kind of a little disappointed with what happened to those two characters, to be honest.
Yeah,
especially
I thought there was
they were
such
a big part of the film. Yeah.
And I also, at first, couldn't tell the two apart. Those two characters.
Yeah, I
think we're talking about. Just at first,
because
they had the same facial hair and the same hair. Like at
they
first, I was just like,
alike, and they're both like
dude,
kind of like
just,
they're two character actors that are pretty famous.
Oh, I thought you were talking about the couple that was fucking in the store. I was like, man, when that dude gets fucking when he gets killed, I'm like, damn, that's fucking nasty.
At the bar, right? You meet up with the
okay.
The guy from the zombie movies.
Yeah, and then he just gets marked off screen and thrown through the air, and I was like, oh, like I thought like they built it up like I was going to get to like see more with him. And no, what I'm saying is like whenever they first pulled the girl over and she had all the blood on her and she was driving the cop car, I still thought that was the same cop at first for a little bit, and then I was like, oh wait, that's not him. I got confused for a second.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
Yeah.
Honestly,
I had a JP moment.
I do shit like that.
Yeah, I had a JP moment.
I'm really good with faces. I'm very
not
good with
me.
faces.
I don't know how fucking. I guess I just don't care enough.
Some people have face blindness. I can tell them apart very easily.
Dude, I literally will, like at work, I'll check someone in. They'll come back like 20 minutes later and I'll be like checking in. And they're like, you just checked me in. I'm like, fuck.
Man,
like,
I'm not that bad.
I never forget faces. If I could remember a name, that would be the best day of my life.
I'm not bad with faces, but I tell you what I'm good at is knowing whether or not that little kid is half black or not. And his mom was full black and his dad was full white, and that little kid was full white.
What?
The neighbor kid.
Oh, I didn't even notice that. I mean, he could have been adopted, or he could have been a nephew.
Yeah, I'll chop. No, he says mom, but I'll chop it up to that. Maybe he's like a
or maybe it wasn't his real dad. Maybe his dad was adopted dad.
No. The dad would have to be the real one.
Whatever.
Yeah, I noticed it too.
Yeah, I was like, this.
Actually,
I
but they didn't spend time on the history of the family. It's not like you don't know if that's their biological dad or not.
It's so irrelevant to it.
I chopped it up to that too. I chopped it up to that, but it did make me laugh.
I would be like, I don't give a shit.
It's not a knock on the movie. It just made me laugh.
It's good to see. I like, when Bigo, like Dora Madison, she's awesome, man. It's so awesome to see, like, just keep doing movies with the same directors and shit. It's just all that familiarity. I love that shit, man. Props. I like her.
Yeah, I thought this movie was honestly like pretty fucking awesome, dude. Like I honestly kind of went in a little bit like not negative, but like I had heard that it wasn't very strong from Bigas. I think a lot of people, like a couple people were saying they were disappointed with it compared to his other work, but like I think I might like this, like right up there, dude. Like,
yeah, no,
I don't know. I really like
it. Has one of the best aesthetics and it has one of the best looks of any film this year, man. It just looks
I'm being
so
a little.
I agree.
Good.
I'm being a little harsh on it, but like from the pussy eating on, the movie was fantastic. I loved every bit of it.
See, I love from the pussy eating, before the
Yeah, like
I didn't care for it that much, but I mean, it's not like it was bad. It was just like for
BPE.
me, it was like whatever.
So we're gonna do it BPP and APE. So before pussy eating, after pussy eating. This is like the new Jesus thing.
Yeah,
it grabbed me right from the beginning, man. It got me right from the beginning. It's fucking
that
awesome.
pussy grabbed you right from the beginning, Moodz?
It did. Yeah, it's literally the Terminator meets like Silent Night, Deadly Night.
Oh,
it is. It really is, bro.
But it's not even a bad thing. It's just so fucking. Oh man, I would watch this. This is going to be an annual watch for me, man. Like, there's so many. Dude, there's been a lot of recent Christmas movies that have been so. Like, I rewatched Better Watch Out the other night, and like, it never gets old to me. Man.
I love Better Watch Out. That's like a top 10 Christmas movie for me.
Yeah, man. Great. Like, I do it every like. There's a bunch of movies that I rewatch like every year because I like this type of. But this one is definitely sliding in there. I can't wait for the Blu-ray to come out. It's gonna be awesome.
This is gonna sound like I'm knocking on the movie. I promise you, I'm not knocking on it because
why do you hate this movie so much?
Just stop. I know. But no. It's in my notes. I do remember this. When she goes down after she got the pussy eating, she goes down and she hears the little kid from across like a different house, through her wall, through his wall, past a snowstorm, and she hears him quietly say, "Mom." Like, how that made me a little upset. I was a little mad about that because he's not even screaming for his mom. He's like talking.
I'd have to re-see
and
it.
you could
wait. Wasn't that in the same apartment? That was upstairs.
No, she sees him from the other window. Watches him get killed. She looks out her window through his window and sees.
Is she not hearing? Is she not hearing stuff from inside her place, but watching the kills from across the way? Like, yeah, that stuff's not in the same place, obviously, because she's looking across at where that kid gets killed.
If they were upstairs, she would have heard like the dad getting murked. But then she goes into the kitchen and he just goes, "Mom," and then she like hears him and looks through the window. I was like, that things like that.
I thought she was hearing something in her place.
I'd have to rewatch it,
but happened to notice something that was going across the way. Like, like sometimes it's just kind of coincidental. Right?
The little kid says "Mom," like, but he's like talking so quietly, but she hears it across in a different house.
Yeah, you know what?
It's fine. It's not. It's nitpicky, but
yeah. I mean,
are you 100% sure as well?
Why?
Dude, I am 100% sure. There is no way I'm wrong about this.
I thought that she was reacting to something in her house, but happened to see something across the way, and then that's what. The carnage.
I remember the scene, but I don't remember exactly how it folds out to make.
She was reacting to the pizza being burnt, right?
Yeah. No, that was the nachos. Nachos.
My fault. And she's like cleaning up, and then
your credibility is gone, bro. Pizza,
you just fucked up nachos.
Bro, I'm lactose intolerant. I can't have either. Okay.
Oh fuck! That sucks.
Don't drink beer. Lactose intolerant, bro. You even alive?
Dude, you can't drink beer. You can't have nachos. You can't have fucking pizza.
I can drink beer. I'm a straight edge.
What's the point in living?
You don't need beer, but you need pizza. You can skip the beer. Just eat if you need the pizza.
Can you at least eat fucking wings, dude?
Listen to me, young man. I can eat all of this stuff. I have Lactaid. Okay? I can eat any of it. I was a joke. I was just kidding.
Oh, really?
Yes, I can eat nachos and pizza. And yes, wings as well.
I know so many lactose intolerant people, man. It's like crazy. I
think I am too, because I get an upset stomach every time. I just don't give a shit.
Yeah, I mean,
sometimes you just gotta sacrifice.
I will shit my own
like shit for feeling great for like 15 minutes.
I would die if I couldn't eat cheese, man. That would be crazy.
No, I know, with your cheese curds and stuff.
Dude, poutine is amazing.
But just cheese and man, like charcuterie boards is like
absolutely love cheese, dude.
Love charcuterie boards.
Charcuterie.
I can't even say it.
I literally want to just have a New Year's party just so I can have like 4 or 5 charcuterie boards and eat.
We actually had, the wife made one on Saturday, man. Like we always have so much gourmet meat and cheese and stuff. Like Christmas time is like my favorite time of the year because it's just like meat and cheese platters. Yummy. So we're doing another fondue for New Year's this year. So it's gonna be awesome. Hot oil one.
I want to give this movie some props though, because I sound like I'm just bitching about it. I absolutely
That's fine, dude.
I know I really liked the movie though. I'm bad at myself for like sounding like I'm bitching about it. I'm not, like, because I think the kills were great. I loved the colors. I thought the action was so much fun when he's like riding on the ambulance. That was a blast.
Yeah.
Okay,
yeah,
here
I
we
have
go.
no problem with this movie.
I just randomly came across this, but it says the film features 487 uses of profanity with an average of 5.6 per minute. It seems like it could have been more.
I agree. 5.6 seems a little low.
Did you guys see this trivia?
Is it about Dan Haggerty?
Yeah, they actually resurrected Dan Haggerty's dead body and had him smoked to create the fog atmosphere. That's crazy.
No, dude, what it says, you missed this part. They resurrected his coffin and they just opened the lid.
He's been smoking dead. Hey, you know how sometimes they say the hair and fingernails grow? Dan Haggerty keeps smoking even after he's dead.
No, he doesn't. That's ridiculous, Dave. That doesn't happen.
That's fact.
Okay, my fault.
I love how Terminator it gets at the end, bro.
Oh, the laser eyes was amazing.
Just
Dude,
even the
Dan
way
Haggerty
it's
would
like
have
crawling
fucked him
towards
up.
him is straight Terminator
For sure.
1, bro.
Dan
the
Haggerty
whole
would have
scene-
killed this guy.
Oh yeah,
If he was in this movie.
Yeah,
it would have been over.
He would have smoked him, man.
So Moodz,
Smoked him.
that's pretty good. Moodz, was it you, Moodz, that said you got kind of not tired of it, but like you were like with the water scene, you said it went too long, or what? Was that you
I
that
do
said
think it
that?
went a little long.
The ending went because when it comes down to like, well, let's face it, Santa's he's a little bit in shambles at this point, but it does seem like it goes on a little bit too long.
I loved that.
It's two people. It's at this point it's just one-on-one, and it's just like, holy shit, this thing is lit. But it is actually kind of comical because it like is built so good. It's kind of a joke on like, just manufacturing of like American. They overly did this one. Like they made it too good. It's kind of funny.
That's my least favorite part of movies, though, is the fucking cat and mouse on the slasher movie.
Yeah,
like that's my least favorite. I like when there's multiple characters and you get to see them get picked off and interact with each other. That's my favorite stuff. So when they get to like down to one character left with the killer, I'm like, all right, let's move past this part.
Right.
I agree with that.
See, I like the cat and mouse stuff.
I agree with Dave there, but I think this one, I liked the cat and mouse in this.
I just can't believe that water was the main fucking weapon here, man. Like honestly,
after he got ripped to pieces, though,
she brought out
it's electrocution.
She brought out a battle sword.
That snow never melted on him?
But that battle sword was badass though too, man. That was awesome,
dude. Yes, that was so sick.
Yeah,
I love how also it doesn't even the whole like robot Santa is just a fucking MacGuffin. It doesn't matter at all. Like they kind of tell you like, oh, it's they're recalled, but it's like I expect with a lot of movies like this, you get into a deep backstory of like some military chips where like somebody, you know what I mean?
Well, the way to explain it away is that like, so they do tell you a little bit of the backstory with this thing. If you're listening to the news reports and stuff, it says, as these robotic Santa Claus has been recalled because in some of these malls there was some reactions and some people, we have to pull these things because they're being violent. And, like the way Dave Z's problem was, he's like, I think it's pretty fucking stupid as to why the Santa Claus keeps pursuing who he's pursuing. And I'm like, well, the way you can explain it away is like when it comes alive, the people that are around at that point are the ones that he keeps pursuing. Right. He didn't it doesn't seem like it's overly that random. It's because they were at that spot. They were at that department store at the moment. Right.
Yeah.
When it came alive.
The way
and stuff
that I
like
look
that.
at
So
it
I just see it's like it's embedded in the memory. And he's like, well, fuck, we're going after. This is what I do. It doesn't have to be
I just
explained.
think it doesn't fucking matter. Like
it doesn't
if you
matter.
just made it a human Santa Claus, or just to differentiate it, they made it a robot one just for something different.
It's
you
just
know what
fun.
I mean?
Yeah,
I think you could have made the same exact movie almost if it was a human
who plays. It's a robot played by a human.
He acts like Halloween, man. He acts like Michael Myers.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
He focuses on one thing and he never stops. Until he gets
what's the difference if he's a robot or if he's pure evil? He's fucking killing, man. We're here for the fucking kills.
Terminator.
He's fucking killing. It's amazing.
Yeah, it was fun. I like the car mounts whenever they were like driving, like the shots on the cars. Those were sick. I really enjoyed. I really liked it whenever he turned, like when you could really see that he was a robot and he started moving like a robot.
And
it's very class of 1999. The plot's more like Terminator class of 1999. Like, we have these military weapens. We don't want to waste them, so we put them in school as teachers. And also it's Ed 209. They're military weapons. They're like, these aren't going to work. We're going to make them cops.
Yeah, just mixed in with an actual killer Santa Claus.
I also got to say,
it's very throwback, and the plot isn't necessarily like that important in a movie like this.
The style is, though. The style's great in this.
Yeah,
the style and aesthetic is,
but that's what they needed too. Like, that's all they needed.
The genetic makeup of this movie is like, I could watch this every day. It looks so good.
Dude, I truly love the look of this film. Like, I love it. Like, it is so Christmassy.
Baby. That Evil Dead Necronomicon,
are so good.
Neon poster was the coolest shit I've seen.
Yeah, like the black light look of like everywhere they're hanging out. The bar, I wanted to go to that goddamn bar. It's like I would love to be like the last 3 people in there during close.
That bartender was the guy from Almost Human, wasn't he?
He's the editor. He's Joe Begos' editor.
Really?
He's in all those movies. Yeah, he's also in
and I
VFW.
also love that, man.
Yeah,
I love that they. Yeah, I love filmmakers, whether it's Tarantino or Kevin Smith or whoever. You know, I know we mentioned those type of movies, but and Rob Zombie.
Well, that's what I brought.
Literally, just keep a crew together, and I think that is like awesome filmmaking.
Well, that's why I brought up Dora Madison, man. Like, she's in half of his movies now. Jeremy Garner, like all these people, like
actually we even mentioned it with Raimi earlier. It's like this whole thing has come full circle.
And did you guys know who the Santa Claus was? I had to look at the
it was that he was the guy from Belko Experiment.
I thought it was a robot.
No, he's also in Bliss. But the first time I ever saw him, he's one of the bad guys in George of the Jungle with Brandon Fraser.
Oh my god,
he's one of the big goons.
Yes,
I've never seen that.
He's great in that movie because he gets an argument with the narrator. The narrator's like, these two jerks. And he's like, hey, watch what you're calling a jerk. And he's like, why are you being so mean to me? He's like, because you're a bad guy. I don't like you. He's very funny in that. He's also the guy in Bliss with George Wendt. When George Wendt gets killed.
Oh, really?
I didn't recognize it. Yeah. He's in a bunch of these movies. So
I didn't
all the
put
same
that
guys.
together. You know what I was thinking, man? Jeremy Gardner's having a fucking... When was the last time someone was in like 2... awesome fucking Christmas movies in the same year?
Graham Skipper, same guy. He did both too.
He was in, I always like Graham Skipper was in
and
this,
Jeremy Gardner did both.
But Graham Skipper was in this one for what, 4 seconds?
I was like, is that Graham Skipper? Oh, maybe not.
It is, and then it's just like, no, he's not coming back.
Man, I just love
was that Joe Begos who was like, you fucked up my ranchero? Was that? I think that was Begos.
It probably is him, right? Yeah, that's.
I just love when like every year there's a couple new Christmas movies and you got like a handful of good ones to add to the rotation. Because this and
both
Violent
those are great.
Night,
The Leech is good too. The Leech
I haven't
is good
seen
too.
The Leech yet, but
that's not super Christmassy
Violent Night's
though.
Awesome.
Yeah, it's not overly, but it is definitely. It fits the whole criteria of Christmas related films. I mean, it's literally taking place around that time, but yeah, you're right though.
I think my favorite shot in this movie was that trailer shot where he's walking up the driveway and it has that fully lit house.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I think that scene that's such a sick scene.
Yeah. I even like when they're driving and they do a good job of just keep showing lights in the background of different houses and stuff like that. Like this movie felt like it had so many damn lights in it.
Mm-hmm.
Do you guys notice there's a few movies shot on film this year? You got Bones and All, Christmas Bloody Christmas, The Cursed. Those are all shot on film.
Yeah, I like to see it.
There's probably
more. I bet there's
there,
more.
There probably is more. I just have to go.
There's definitely more.
This one's just clear as day. Like clear as day.
Oh yeah, this is 16 millimeter.
Yeah, 16 millimeter is just amazing.
It really stands out, man.
Well, he shot VFW on 60 millimeter too.
So, Dave,
Bliss
you mentioned that when you watched this on
probably all 3 of
Shudder,
those.
I couldn't imagine.
If you watch it on your Samsung
also,
Smart TV,
your
Samsung Smart TV looks like shit. So I rewatched it on my Fire Stick on the other 4K TV, and it looked really good.
Yeah, but I can't imagine because obviously 16 millimeter is a little muddy already.
Yeah, I want.
So watching it in a shitty quality while it being 16 millimeter, it was probably really shitty.
Yeah.
So I had to rewatch it. I put it on in the background. I was wrapping presents. Yeah, Vinegar Syndrome. One of the partner labels needs to put this fucker on there. No, I only get kids shit.
I actually have to do that tonight, man. I was dreading that. Ugh, it's gonna take me like 4 hours.
Took a long time, man.
Yeah, it's gonna take me a while. I'm not looking forward to it.
Gift bags for all next time.
Exactly, or just fucking.
I literally just usually make.
That's my buddy's attitude. He's like, "Why would I do something when I could pay someone to do it?" I'm like, "Dude, you're the laziest motherfucker in the world." I'm like,
it hurts my back. Just sitting there or standing there. I don't feel like doing that.
Why don't you just sit at a fucking couch and put a table down?
I sit on the ground. And actually,
I sit on the ground too.
I'm literally going to do it.
My back, after like 2 hours, I stand up and I'm like, fuck.
Shit.
Anyway.
So Christmas Bloody Christmas, it seems like we all liked it except for Mikey. Why do you got to be a dark horse here?
I like the movie, man.
I can't believe this guy comes on the show and says his real feelings.
Didn't even know he was going to be on the show.
Didn't even know it, and then he's going to be like, I'm going to say fuck your favorite movie of the year. It's shitty.
Well, I don't think it should be your favorite, but I mean that's your deal, I guess.
Well, favorite and best are two totally different things.
No, I feel you. No, I freaking like the movie, man. I liked it a lot.
I'm not even sure if I believe you.
Jesus Christ.
You got to convince me, man. Did you like the Tracy Lords talk?
Hey, honestly, the sex scene was filmed really fucking cool too, man.
Yeah.
He probably got blue balls after that.
Oh yeah.
He definitely went to town like a dinosaur. What did he say? A Tyrannosaurus
Rex. He might have had whiskey dick though. They've been drinking all night.
Right.
That's true.
Yeah.
And they were literally drinking whiskey.
So they got whiskey dick.
It happens.
Well,
it happens to the best.
Sometimes you get whiskey dick where like you can get hard but you can't come. So it's just like you want to have sex for 3 hours.
Yeah.
I really enjoyed the movie. I just didn't want. I'll chalk it up in a second whenever we do our ratings.
All right. Well, and on that note, Dave.
Oh yeah, it's Parker first.
Is it?
Yep.
8 out of 10. Really like it. I think it's tied with. I don't know. I think I like it as much as Bliss or VFW, but it's either my third or tied with Mind's Eye. It's been a while since I've seen Mind's Eye. It's probably the third. I think Joe Bigos is becoming one of the best. He's one of my favorite new directors for sure. Great stuff. 8 out of 10.
Yeah, man, he has not missed for me at all. It seemed like I was kind of in the minority when Almost Human came out. People were like, "Yeah, it's okay," and I just kept hearing more of kind of like a mediocre.
I'm
thing.
okay on it. Almost.
I think it's his worst movie, but
I really like.
But it's his first.
I really like Almost Human.
But it's funny, like even like when you rank someone's filmography, someone has to be at the bottom. Doesn't mean it's actually bad. That's what I like about being.
When you say worst, it sounds negative, but
yeah.
Something has to be the worst, I guess.
Yeah, something just has to be at the bottom, and it doesn't even make it that it's it's a bad thing. And sometimes it's just you got really good filmography. It's not like mind blowing, but it's still really fun.
No, I like it.
Yeah, this one, oh man, I really really love this movie. I thought it was just like I said, it had all the ingredients that I love to a movie, and it's a fucking blast, dude. It really is good.
I mean, it's no Elves, but.
Yeah, at least this one had like laser eyes and stuff in it. Come on, those green laser eyes and shit.
Dude, the laser eyes.
Yeah, but it didn't have incest or Nazis, so
that's true.
Yeah, but you know what? It was more the ideas of incest and shit. You don't really get to. Yeah, I don't know, man.
It never said if the friends that were eating the butt were brother or sister or not.
It's true.
Yeah.
So you never know. If we could chalk up that kid's mom is not his real mom, then you could chalk that up that they're brother and sister.
Yeah, I mean, I guess. I'm coming in at a 9. I know it sounds high, but I love it. I might even be high. I don't even know, but whatever.
Right? I believe that. Sorry. I really like this movie. I think that this is for sure going to be a regular Christmas watch, along with stuff like Better Watch Out, which came out, made my top 10. I just love Christmas horror. I really do. I know Dave doesn't like do the whole watch Christmas horror during the month of Christmas thing, but he should. And
yes,
I feel like eventually we'll be able to.
He must just gag looking at my IMDb, man. Like, I'll go on these, like, my last, like, 12 movies I watched are or on my Letterboxd is, like, all Christmas movies of different genres, but, you know.
Yeah, I keep forgetting a lot of shit.
I don't hate Christmas stuff.
Yeah. No, you just don't have traditions where you do a bunch of shit during certain times.
Yeah.
Which is fine. But you're getting better. You're enjoying life a little bit more. But no, I give it an 8. I'm with Dave on this one.
Yeah, dude. I don't dislike this movie at all. I really enjoy this movie. I just did not care for the dialogue at the beginning. I didn't dislike it, but at the same time, that being said, you guys kind of made me see it in a different way, that like maybe that's just me, like that just didn't apply to me, but it's more realistic than I thought it was because y'all have had these conversations. So I could be non-biased about it and understand that like that's what's in my head, right? So that being said, I like the kills. I like the lighting. I think this guy's doing a great job. I haven't seen all of his movies. I've never seen Mind's Eye. I don't know if I've seen Bliss or not.
Bliss is good.
Okay.
Top 10.
Watch Bliss.
VFW.
Awesome.
Yeah, they're both.
It was my number 3 of that year.
Okay. I love VFW. 10. VFW is great, and I really like Almost Human. This one I really enjoy. I'll probably watch this one every single year now, or try to. Yeah, I'll give this one an 8 as well. Like I think that's about where it was. I mean, I was at a 7.5.
We talked you up.
Well, I was at a 7.5, and then when y'all talked to me about the dialogue, I still don't like the dialogue, but it makes me see it in a different way that other people can enjoy. You know what I mean? Like I just don't dislike it. You. Like I don't dislike it. I enjoyed it, man.
Good move.
Fuck you, Moodz. I liked the movie.
Yeah, that's
I know one person would be like, why'd you fucking you gave it a 7.5, you didn't like the movie. Right, that Parker?
That's me.
Oh yeah.
Oh fuck. It always makes me laugh. The contamination thing is fucking hilarious to me, man.
I also love
I gave it a 7.5. How the fuck could I not like it? Why'd you fucking hate it?
I didn't give it a 7.5. I gave it a 6.
Yeah, he gave it a 6.
And then when I rewatched that fucker, it's down to like a fucking credit. 6.
Oh, dude,
I like it.
I think every time I watch Contamination, it goes up for me, man. I actually just rewatched it during.
Dude, that fucking spy shit's terrible.
I watched that movie for the first time the other day. It was great.
It's a James Bond movie, is what it is.
Yeah, and it's exactly as good as a James Bond movie, I'm sure.
Oh, no! Don't even get me fucking started. No,
I'm not making fun of James Bond. I'm obviously just saying Contamination's obviously not going to be the same skill set as a James Bond movie.
Yeah, it's just like a really low budget, shitty version of like Bond. It's kind of funny, actually.
I've never realized now after
James Bond movie.
Me either. After watching all these movies, I realize I enjoy POV shots, like because Elves had it, Bloody Christmas had it, and they were both. I was enjoying it.
Yeah, I mean, if you like POVs, man, you should really like giallos and stuff, you know.
I do like giallos.
And porn, because that's like what everybody does these days.
That's like a thing.
Yeah.
Don't need to hire a cameraman, bro.
Exactly.
Do it yourself.
You don't need to hire an actor either. Just do it yourself.
You just put the GoPro on.
I think it's funny that y'all were freaking out that I didn't drink alcohol.
No, we're not freaking out. We're just
not like that. Like y'all just didn't know that I didn't drink.
No. I knew that.
I think I did know that actually.
Like I literally don't know like where I come from. It's like hockey and booze is like religions.
I am from Texas.
It's like really weird. Like it's
ours is small town football and booze.
Yeah, you know, I mean,
Friday Night Lights.
Friday Night Lights, man. Yeah, that's cool.
But no, man. Is that it? Thanks for coming on, Mikey.
That is everything, yeah. So that's going to conclude Christmas, Bloody Christmas 2022 and this episode, which is fucking 233. Is that what I said off top? Or
yeah, it's 233.
Who knows? What do you guys think we should do for 250? Comments down below.
I don't know.
I'm not specifically asking you guys on the show. I'm talking to the
listeners. The listeners. Yeah, let them pick.
Yeah, try to give us some good ideas for 2050.
Dude, I already told y'all gotta pick a movie from every state. There's 50 states.
That was your idea. Yeah, I want to do that still.
Oh,
maybe not for 250.
Pick the best.
Mikhail,
no,
that is the most American thing. I'm not even fucking American.
You can't dislike that idea.
There's like
That's
6 provinces, bro.
There's more than 6 provinces. I'm not even sure how many provinces there is. I'm such a bad Canadian. No, there's 11, I think.
11?
Oh no! Plus, there's 2 territories, and then there's none of it. I don't know. Canada's all weird, man. We have territories that aren't considered provinces, and then we got none of it.
What are you talking about?
I don't know.
But no, the 50 states thing is cool. I was doing some research on that, Mikey. There are a few states that have like fucking nothing, so it's gonna be.
You know what? I have a really hard time believing that every state isn't represented enough that we could find a film or even find a good one from that specific state. I mean, you look at Oregon, and like like those in like Montana and like Wyoming, like all that shit over here. I'm sure you could find stuff.
It was mainly like Hawaii that I was having trouble with.
And perfect getaway.
But I've never seen that. But anyway, the idea is that like we kind of pick like 4 or so. It doesn't have to be equal, like 4 for each one, but like maybe New York would have like 8 or something. And then we just discuss them and we decide on which one best represents the state.
You know what? I actually can't wait for the conversation about Florida.
Good idea.
Hey, Dave.
Florida?
What?
Jeepers Creepers, dog.
The Florida state. That's going to be a fun conversation.
There's a lot of great movies from Florida.
To represent Florida, man, because there's so many fucking
But it would be sick
awesome
to see y'all have to like
filmmakers
dive into like certain states that don't have many.
What we would have to do is all of us would have to put one movie from each state, and then we'd have to argue which one's the best and come to an agreement.
Yeah, that's
you could do that, or y'all could do it.
So do we just do the summer series, but 22 style?
Or
well, we just get a list. Like anybody can nominate.
Let's just
anything.
do 100 movies, 1922 to 2022, and we pick the best movie from every year in arguments.
Oh my god, that would take literally 100 years.
The best movie from each year.
Yeah.
Well, some of the years wouldn't take that. I mean, look at what is it? 41. We have 11 movies to watch.
Wolfman.
It's like ridiculous. There's like no.
I mean, some would be pretty clear cut. Like,
yeah.
You know what though? JP's gonna get outvoted when it comes to 78.
78.
Yeah.
But
Dawn
of the Dead.
Yeah, because it ain't beating Halloween's. Not. I'm putting Dawn of the Dead over Halloween.
Me too. All day. Well, I mean,
wouldn't that
be ridiculous?
Why are you saying that I wouldn't put Dawn of the Dead?
I don't know, because Halloween's pretty traditional. I don't even know, but that'd be so hard that there's like if one disappears, like only one movie can make it.
Yeah, there's some years that just have way too many that should be represented. It does become.
I mean, Halloween was a fucking game changer.
Yeah, what are you picking for 85?
Day of the Dead.
Day of the Dead.
81. The Evil Dead. That's the only answer.
Nah.
The Evil Dead.
It depends
Beyond.
what the criteria is. Are we picking like stuff that like were game changers or just specifically
our favorite
how good the movie is?
Maybe we should just decide exactly what we're doing first instead of actually deciding this before we actually decide what we're doing.
I'm trying to get my foot in the door right here. Moving to the episode.
But anyways, we're welcome to all ideas. Like just throw out the ideas.
Yeah,
and stuff. Like something that isn't ridiculous. I don't want another episode 100 because that shit I never want to relive in my entire life. Like that was the most painstaking. It was so. It took us.
I don't want to do anything that's.
It took us 3 months.
Yeah,
to
like that.
Friday
to get that
13th
list.
It is,
and it was like hours and hours and hours every day.
Friday,
it was fucked.
And I also don't want to do another like 150 this or something. Like if we do anything,
250 moments in horror.
Like we could do another.
What was the last one?
250 is a high number to count down from. So I think that's
so 200 was the director's one.
250
yeah, 200 was the director ones, and we each picked 50 directors, so it equaled 200. That's fine to do something like that. But like, I don't want to count down from 250.
No.
You know what I mean?
We don't even have to do anything. Like it could just be 50. You know, it just could be like another thing like that or something.
Yeah. But it really
50 best slasher movies. We coming for you, Exploding Heads.
Man,
if we did that, I would have to make it 100 just to be like, fuck you guys.
It's a long show. I remember I get down to Fulci and I was pretty drunk at that point.
Dude, you were fucking
like
smashed.
Fulci. I drank like 20.
Can you make top 10 list?
I drank.
Make one.
I think I drank over 20 beers doing that
Remember
show. It's
Toby
like
Hooper, you can't make a top 10 list.
Oh yeah, can't do it. People always get pissed when I say that because I'm just telling the truth. But
most directors don't have 10 good movies though.
No. Well, the thing is, Toby Hooper has enough to make a list. I just can't legitimately make one.
I can make 10 Hooper movies I like.
I don't actually. I've tried to. I've actually broke it down, and I'm like, I don't even like 10 of his movies.
Dude, come on, relax with that.
Life Force rules.
I hate Life Force. It's probably my least favorite Toby Hooper.
Dude, that movie's awesome.
I think I'd rather watch The Mangler.
The Mangler rules. Both of those rule.
Dude, Life Force is so
Eaten Alive.
bland.
I don't mind The Mangler.
Texas Chainsaw, Eaten Alive, The Funhouse, Salem's
Texas
Lot,
Chainsaw 2,
Poltergeist, Life Force, Invaders from Mars, Texas Chainsaw 2. He's really got 8 good ones.
Mortuary.
And that's what I said before. I think I mentioned
Body
before.
Bags 9.
Well, do you count Body Bags though?
It's
and the Mangler 10. Toolbox Murders I never watched. I guess the Mangler would be my number 10. I never watched Salem's Lot.
You count
That's the only one
Salem's
I haven't
Lot?
seen. Yeah, you got to.
Actually, that's probably
Salem's Lot.
My second favorite Hooper film, probably behind TCM.
Well, do we consider The
Eaten
Dark and
Alive would
Venom?
be up there.
Two movies he got fired on. He directed half of The Dark and half of Venom, and he got fired.
Yeah, Eaten Alive is probably up there.
Those are both fine movies. Venom's better than The Dark, I think.
It's funny they got fired off that.
Yeah, I forgot.
The Toolbox Murders, Dave, don't even bother. It's it's a
Never
bad
watched
remake.
it.
It's bad.
I like Crocodile. I actually genuinely like.
I've seen that, but I don't remember it very well.
Oh,
it's not like a great movie.
Early 2000s.
It's
shit.
It's a killer
Good
crocodile
stuff,
with
man.
CGI.
Good stuff. That early 2000s crocodile.
Yeah.
Night Terrors is pretty bad, man. Night
Blood
Terrors.
Surf. Blood Surf also rules.
I forgot about that. I have the VHS.
Spontaneous Combustion is an awful film. Period.
Terrible. Never even upgraded. I never upgraded the Blu-ray.
I never saw that one.
Yeah.
Period. Period.
I know that one.
Also, he did direct the best Freddy Krueger origin story.
Yes, he did. He actually did.
But his Master of Horror episode is so bad.
Yeah,
he did two, didn't he? One of them was real bad.
I can't remember his second one, but his first one is not.
Dance of
good,
the Dead was one of the worst things I watched for 2005. I was like, this isn't real.
It's bad.
This can't be happening.
It's bad. We talked about that when we reviewed it back in the day. It's not a good
fucking
one.
Fart.
All right,
fart,
it's time
bro.
to bounce.
It's right at that time. Mr. Parker's got to go. Mikey, thanks for coming on the show anytime.
Yeah, we'll have to come
guys.
up with another episode for you to do. This one kind of worked out perfect considering you did a short Christmas horror film and we were doing Christmas stuff. Worked out perfect, but we might want to have you on to do something, more, maybe some early 2000s shit or something.
This was great though. I enjoyed this. This was
shameless
awesome.
plugs. You can shamelessly plug your stuff. Where can they go see the trailer? And
go check out my trailer on YouTube, Up on the Housetop. That's what it's called.
Up on the Housetop,
Yeah, and then I'm in a movie called Butcher's Bluff, and then also go watch the movie Red 11. That's the Robert Rodriguez movie I was in. It's on Tubi and Prime Video. Yeah.
Sweet,
dude. And we'll definitely have you back, bro.
Cool. I enjoyed it. I'd like to be back.
Awesome. Was it all it's cracked up to be? I know you've been a listener for a long time and stuff.
It was a piece of shit. I fucking hated this actually.
Well, I know what you definitely did hate, Christmas Bloody Christmas.
Nah, dude, it was cool, man. I gave it an 8.
He couldn't stand Day of the Beast either.
Day of the
Beast.
All right, man.
Day of the Feet was great. I enjoyed it. Thank you guys.
You're welcome, bro.
All right, man. That is gonna do it. And we are the fuck out of here.
All right, Lily, give me them feet.
Charz.
Cool, guys.
I'm gonna pickle my feet when I die and send them the Moodz.
Okay, I am so done with you guys. I literally was gagging.
I'm gonna do that too.
I'm not even joking. I was gagging.
That's all, folks.
You got to wash your ass.